Hello everybody, welcome to Chatman FPL Game Week 18 Live. My name is James, one half of the Planet FPL podcast, and this is 2.5 hours of fun. I'm squinting because I think this is going to go. Slancher. The reason for the cider, those who were with us last weekend, thank you so much for that. Everybody who supported us for 24 hours. I bought 4 of these and I got through 3 of them. And at 2:30 I opened one of these. So I thought, do you know what? I'll get through one of these quickly on this one. And then we'll move on to the beers. Bit of a refresher. First thing to say is, guys, I don't know any of the team news yet. So try and avoid putting anything in the chat until I've gone through the team news. Going to try something a little bit different. Part of the reason for that is some people calling me lazy. I'm not going to lie. I've just been smashing through what we're going to do for schedule on Planet FPL this week. And I might have some good news on that very, very shortly. Probably not on today's stream, but possibly within a couple of hours afterwards. Let's see who we got in the chat. We've got Ram. Oh, why have we got a repeat here? I've got no fucking headphones on. Shit. Well, yes, I have. It's just not fucking plugged in. Oh, it's all fucking classy as usual, isn't it? Sorry if you got a repeat there, guys. People want to know why I wear headphones. That's the reason why. Why is that still fucking happening? Class this, isn't it? Fuck, that's a pain in the rear. I don't know if we got problems sound-wise here or not. Let me know, guys, if sound's alright your side. You might have an echo at the moment. If that's the case, don't worry, we'll get it fixed. Let's see what we got in the chat. We got Ram, FPL Cobbler, Dougal, our friend Ferrell, England 23, Rich P, FPL, Justice for Rich, he's looking for in the Wolfpack FA Cup, Kevin Rose, Anurag, Chris Duckworth, FPL Badger, Mark, our Norwich correspondent, John UK, Angus McPhail, Boris Chow, Cole, Koo, Perdo's Pen, Brett M. Thank you so much for joining. Aritaro, DJ Music Ace, Optimus Prime is in. Harbour Boy from New Zealand. Thanks very much for getting in early, guys. I'm going to have to switch the sound off at the moment. Can you let me know, guys, if you can still hear me or not? And I've already just asked that, but I've got to wait 30 seconds now for you to tell me that, basically, which is a little bit of a mare. While I'm waiting for you to say if the sound's good or not, I can begin to have a look at the team news, which I genuinely have not seen yet at all. I'm going to assume, guys, from what you're saying, sound is all fine. So, transfer for me this week. I'll talk about it a bit more at half time and probably during the stream. Cheers, guys. But I've gone Sylvestre to, wait for it, Davies ass. Which sounds like the most mental move ever, and it might sound a lot worse once I have a look through this team news. It's a forward planning move. It's certainly not a move expecting Newcastle to get a clean sheet at Middlesbrough. He's my second sub at the moment, but I have a strong feeling I'm going to end up with him in the team. If that's the case and I get 1 point out of him, it's 1 point better than what I might have got from somewhere else, and it's this week and future weeks rather than just a this week move. So at the moment I'm lining up, and again I don't know the team news yet. It's Crossley in goal, back three of Hariderson, Hippier, Stubbs, midfield 4 of Johnston, Poyet, Gerrard. Fuck, who else have I got, man? It's so bugging that I can't even remember my own team half the time. Who else is in my team? No. Up front, Van Nistelrooy captain. Boxic, who I'm not expecting to play, but I've taken a chance that he might. Oh, who's the rest of my fucking team? Who's my other midfielder? So bad. Like, oh, Beckham. Just David Beckham. So it's Crossley, Hippier, Hariderson, Stubbs, Johnston, Poyet, Beckham, Gerrard, Van Nistelrooy captain, Boxic, vice captain, Kevin Phillips. I have a strong feeling that Ruud Van Nistelrooy is not going to play later. And it's part of the reason I didn't add a third Man United player. I think there could be mass rotation for United later. And we will find out. And I will obviously talk you through it at 4:30. So let's get into that team news and see how bad it is for me. So we'll obviously try and do these in order. So alphabetically, let's look for Aston Villa and Arsenal. Villa, it's still Balaban and Dublin up front. I see Stephen Carr is back in the side. Alan Wright continues at left back, meaning no Gareth Barry, no Lord Staunton. Lord Staunton's not even a sub. Villa are 4-4-2 against Arsenal, with Schmeichel, Stephen Carr, Alpine, Melberg, Alan Wright, Carr and Alan Wright allowed to attack from fullback. Steve Stone, Ian Taylor, Paul Merson, Lee Hendry, Dion Dublin, Bosco Balaban up front. I think 3 weeks ago, I would have got to this fixture and probably gone Seaman in goal. But with Villa playing this 4-4-2 now, I feel that they could get on the score sheet today. And I think they're one to keep an eye on. There's sort of an undercurrent of thought. I know sort of Luke Disable's said similar in terms of he thinks Villa now with 4-4-2 might be one to really keep an eye on going forward. On the bench for Villa, Peter Enkelman, Hassan Kashlul, Thomas Hitzelsberger, George Boateng, Mustafa Hadji, David Ginola not in that squad. Obviously Gareth Barry not in the squad. Lord Staunton not in the squad. Juan Pablo Angel not in the squad. On to Arsenal. And I'm immediately drawn to a change up front. No Francis Jeffers. Dennis Bergkamp plays in the 10 position. Lauren plays at right back. Ashley Cole is back from suspension, plays left midfield. Strong midfield for Arsenal. Perez plays on the left. Lundberg on the right. Van Bronckhorst and Albertini centrally. Arsenal are Seaman in goal. Back four of Lauren, Tony Adams, Sukrumbo, Ashley Cole, Freddie Lundberg, Dimitri Albertini, Van Bronckhorst, Perez, Dennis Bergkamp in the 10 position to support Thierry Henry. Jeffers is amongst the Arsenal substitutes with Richard Wright, Matthew Upson, Andre Tikhonov and Martin Keown. We'll move on to the Reebok where Bolton Wanderers play Leicester. I noticed Paul Warhurst, OOP again. He's gone back up front. It's Charlton and Maddison are the wing backs this week. No Kevin Nolan in the Bolton starting lineup. He's only a substitute. No place for Rod Wallace in the Bolton 16 either. And also no Colin Hendry either. So there's certainly changes here for Bolton. It's Jaskalainen in goal. Back three of Cooper, Gudny Bergson, Anthony Barnes. The wing backs who are really encouraged to push on are Charlton and Maddison. Nicky Saville plays centrally with Rob Lee. Pedersen, the 10 position, can go forward and support Warhurst playing OOP. And Ricketts on the bench for Bolton. Banks, Hansen, Diawara, Nolan and Franson. They host Leicester City today, who are obviously still without the injured Dennis Wise and still without the suspended Matt Elliott. Robbie Savage plays central midfield, but otherwise this might even be the same team that started at Manchester United last game week. It's Flowers in goal. Back four, right to left of Rowett, Heath, Taggart, Delaney. Midfield four is McAnuff, Izzet, Savage and Impey. The other three, other than Savage, can all push on from that central midfield position. Scowcroft in the 10 position in support of Dean Sturridge. On the bench for Leicester's Ian Walker, Matt Jones, Trevor Benjamin, Jordan Stewart and Arnold Gunnlaugson. On to Fulham, who host Derby County today. I think we can expect goals in this one. Derby obviously had a very encouraging win at Fulham in the week, and if I hadn't got Nikos Davizas, this might sound bizarre, but I very, very nearly bought Jolyon Lescott. I'm keen to see if he's in that Derby side. There are changes for Fulham, certainly defensively. Lewis Sahar starts up front in the absence of Steve Marlowe. Steve Malbronk not fit enough, not in the 16. There's also no John Collins either for Fulham. No John Harley either, so there's changes here for Fulham. They are Van der Sar in goal. Back four, right to left of Corrigan, Wadu, Goma. And at left back is Kieran McAnesby. As I said, no John Harley. Steve Finnan plays right midfield for Fulham. It's Legwinski and Lee Clark centrally. Stoics is on the left. Sahar and Bowen Morte up front. So Bjarni Goldbeck only a substitute, along with Andy Melville, Barry Hales, Zat Knight, and sub-keeper Marcus Henneman. Jolyon Lescott does make a debut for Derby County. They are flat back five, midfield three, of which two of those can push right on and join the front two. It's Mark Poom in goal. Seth Johnson plays right back. No Stefano Aranio, who's out injured. The three centre-halves are Elliott, Lescott, Carbonari. Danny Higginbottom plays left back. The two full-backs, Higginbottom and Johnson, who's really playing out of position at right back, allowed to push right on. The wide centre-halves are Carbonari and Elliott, allowed to push into the full-back positions in position. Leaving Lescott centrally. Daryl Powell from midfield has to drop in. Craig Burley and Simo Valakari can go right in support of the front two of Ravanelli and Christie, who both scored at White Hart Lane in game week 17. My thinking on Lescott, and it's just from memories of a footballer more than anything, is he's going to win a lot of key headers. Beast in the air at a young age. And Derby have two home games to come next. It might be one I revisit. They are obviously scheduled, and it's important to say scheduled, to double game week in game week 23 at the moment as well. So I did flirt with the idea of Jolyon Lescott. I just took the decision that Dabizas has a greater run of fixtures, but I may come back to Lescott. Derby subs are Andy Oakes, Dion Burton, Georgie Kinclardsey, Branko Strupar and Lee Morris. Moving on to Anfield, where Liverpool host Leeds United. Looks as fairly as strong as it could be for Liverpool at first view in there. So I should please owners. It's Dudek in goal. Back four right to left of Hegem, Henshaw, Hippier, Carragher. The two fullbacks allowed to push on. Obviously Carragher is at left back. Midfield four right to left is Biscan, Gerrard, Vladimir Smica, Patrick Berger. And up front it's Emil Heskey and Robbie Fowler. On the bench for Liverpool, Chris Kirkland, Danny Murphy, only a substitute, Jamie Redknapp, Rishi Partridge, Stephen Wright. Murphy obviously with an exceptional return at Southampton in game week 17, but loses his place in that Liverpool team to Vladimir Smica. Liverpool host Leeds today. Again, looks strong for Leeds. A lot of theory within the community this week that this could be a comfortable 3 points actually for Liverpool. Leeds likely perhaps to have one of their bad away days is the general consensus looking around chats and tweets. In goal for Leeds, Nigel Martin. Back four right to left is Gary Kelly, Lucas Radaby, Rio Ferdinand, Ian Hart. The midfield four is Bakker, Decourt, McPhail, Kuehl. Bakker and Kuehl can both push on from wide positions. Robbie Keane, as is common when Leeds play strong opposition, plays right up front with Mark Viduka. On the bench for Leeds, Paul Robinson, Jonathan Woodgate, Alan Mabry, David Batty and Michael Bridges. To the Riverside, Alan Boxic starts. Alan Johnson plays left midfield. But otherwise, I think the ownership guys are all there starting. Hamilton Rickard, the highest scoring player in the last 4 game weeks, continues up front with Boxic. It's Mark Crossley in goal. Fullbacks of Stockdale and Fester can push on. Eggyog and Southgate. Southgate comes back into the side, having surprisingly missed the second part of the double game week against Manchester United. Midfield 4 right to left is Greening, Ince, Windass, Johnston. No attacking arrows for Johnston or Greening in this fixture. It's Rickard and Boxic up front. On the bench for the boys from the Riverside, Mark Schwarzer, Noel Whelan, Ian Pearce, Nemeth and Somerville. Their opponents, Newcastle. Warren Barton plays at left back, which means Andy O'Brien plays at right back. Robbie Elliott, who's a left back, plays left midfield. Gary Speeders in the side means Christian Mercedes plays right midfield. They are absolutely broken in terms of injuries and the like. Newcastle, Alan Shearer reportedly had a setback in training this week when I think he would have looked like an ideal captain for everybody in game week 19. But it looks like he is not going to make it. It would be a huge gamble to go down that route. Newcastle are given in goal O'Brien, Marcelino, Dabizas, Barton, the back fours. Barton at left back, O'Brien at right back. Besadas, Sapunsis, Speed, Elliott, the midfield 4, right to left. Cole Court, Craig Bellamy up front. Lots of undercurrent mentions for Cole Court this week, and I can understand why with Newcastle's fixtures coming up. The only side who in the next 3 game weeks play 3 consecutive home games, and they're all nice looking home games. Them playing the blank game week, admittedly it's Fulham away, but at least they're available. And then I think it's West Ham away in game week 23 as well. Sorry, possible double game week, and then West Ham at home in game week 24. So Newcastle, but where do we look? That's part where I've got Davies ass in. On the bench for Newcastle, Gavilan drops to the bench with Olivia Bernard, Steve Caldwell, Wayne Quinn, Otto Fredrickson. Unfortunately, no Shula Amiubi or Delapo Oi in the Newcastle 16, in spite of all those injuries. Right, we seem to have escaped the rotation largely so far, I think. On to St Mary's. James Beattie is back in the Southampton lineup. Klaus Lundikvam, who I think is one of the most key headers in the last 4 game weeks, even more than Ruud van Nistelrooy. Plays with Francis Benali at centre-half. There's good and bad in that. There's a place back on the left of midfield for East 17's Brian Howard. There's obviously Troll. Anders Svensson is out injured for around about 10 days. Saints are Paul Jones in goal. Rory Delap at right back, Lundik van Benali centrally, Wayne Bridge is back at left back. Those 2 fullbacks can push on. Midfield 4, right to left is Dan Petrescu, Mark Draper, Gavin Ray and Howard. Up front, Beattie and Pahars. Kevin Davis not amongst the Saints subs. I think he might have a knock from memory. It's Neil Moss, Gary Monk, Joe Tessam, Scott McDonald and Paul Murray on the Saints bench. They host Everton, who are not flat back 5 away from home. It's a variation of their 3-5-2. No players with any attacking or any defensive arrows. This is one I think we saw when they played at Ipswich very recently, where David Unsworth is playing holding midfield in front of a flat back 3. Everton are. Steve Simonson retains his place in goal following that clean sheet against Newcastle. Back 3 is Weir, Stubbs, Xavier. Unsworth plays holding midfield. Naismith and Steve Watson are the wing backs. Paul Gascoigne, Thomas Gravison central midfield. It's Kevin Campbell and Thomas Radzinski back up front. On the bench, Gerard Clark O'Hanlon, Nicholas Alexanderson, Joe Max Moore. What we got left? Sunderland. Phillips and Sibon stay up front. There are starts for Gray and Archer. Archer at left back, Gray left midfield. Otherwise, this looks quite strong for Sunderland. Gary Till, unfortunate to miss out again, only a substitute. Same for Lillian Deslanders. Neil Sullivan continues in goal in place of Thomas Sorensen. Sullivan had made his debut in that 2-2 draw with Leeds last week. I've just seen Kevin Rose mentioned in the chat, of course. No Dean Gordon in that Middlesbrough lineup. Wow, yeah, missed that. I'll have to go through the chat and see if... just shout out in the chat if I missed anyone obvious. Yes, Dean Gordon is not alive. Sunderland are Sullivan in goal. Mills, McCartney, Tome, Archer. Mills and Archer can push on. Midfield 4, Chris Bart-Williams plays right midfield this week. McCann and Schwartz centrally. Michael Gray left midfield. Phillips and Sibon up front. On the bench, Sorensen, Butler, Till, Deslandis and Medina. They host Blackburn, who of course away from home. Usual defensive 4-5-1/7-2-1. Sorry guys about Dean Gordon. Alan Kelly in goal for Blackburn. It's Matt Jansen as usual, retaining his spot up front when they play one up front. That seems to be a more common theme now. So this might even be exactly the same team that played at Fulham in the 1-0 defeat in game week 17. Certainly very similar. It's Kelly in goal. Back 4 right to left of Berg, Wetherall, Curtis, Lasso. Holding midfield of 3 of McAteer, 2-guy, Mark Hughes. 2-guy can step out from that 3. Damien Duff on the left. Craig Hignett can go forward from the right. Janssen up front. Corrado Grabby and Marcus Bent are both substitutes, along with Marlon Brooms, David Dunn, and substitute goalkeeper Brad Friedel, which just leaves us with Spurs and Charlton, I believe. I don't think I've missed anyone out here. Oh, I missed Ipswich. The important Ipswich. Sorry, guys. We'll get back onto Ipswich. We'll do Ipswich first. Yeah, looks okay for the majority. No Jason Kumas in that Ipswich lineup, but the rest of the defensive guys play. It's Serrani goal, back three of Haridason, Gardso, Bramble. Gardso, the centre of that three, can step out. Clapham and Trico, the wing backs. Midfield three, Magilton, Holland, right. Pablo and Fanidi players split forwards. On the bench for Ipswich, Andy Marshall, Chris Makin, John McGrill, Martin Roycer, Alan Armstrong. Chelsea, it's all changed. It's 5-2-1-2. We knew the team yesterday following the Scouts link, but it is flat back five with wide centre halves to go into full back positions, full backs to go into midfield positions. You got one centre half dropping deep, one attacking, one number 10 dropping in, and the front two doing their thing. I will clarify the team. It is Kudachini in goal. Marcel Desailly centre half. Gallus to the left, Terry to the right. Those two encouraged to go into full-back positions with the ball. Babiaro and Melchior, the full-backs, who are given licence to attack. Emmanuel Petit has to drop into centre-half from a central midfield position. Mario Stanic can push on from central midfield into attacking midfield position. Gianfranco Zola to drop into central midfield from an attacking midfield position. Leon Knight and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank up front. There is no Idiger Johnson amongst the Chelsea substitutes. Benito Carboni, Jesper Gronkia, Jody Morris, Budavine Zenden are the Chelsea subs. Tell you what, having had a quick look at that, I fancy Stanic to return today, as he did at Middlesbrough last week. And so, yes, finally, on to Spurs. Rebrov, Sheringham, Selakovic all start. Spurs team exactly what you would expected. Dean Richards only fit enough to be a substitute, which means the great Ledley King does start for Spurs. I noticed that Casey Keller is now around about the 5th highest scoring goalkeeper in the game, which shows how laughable this all is. Keller is in goal. Back three, King, Perry, Bunjevcevic. Wing backs are Ziga and Anderton. Central midfield, Poyet and Davis. Sheringham and Selakovic allowed to push on an attack from the attacking midfield position in support of Sergei Rebrov. Simon Davis, by the way, 4 assists in 4 games, 6.5 million in the Spurs midfield. Looks like he's establishing a place now. On the bench for Spurs, subkeeper Tota, Richards, as I said, Richard Johnson, Ben Thatcher, and Stefan Everson. Spurs host Charlton today. No place for Danny Shitu. Klaus Jensen not fit enough to be back in the Charlton team. It's Kylie in goal. Back four, right to left of Young, Rufus, Fish, Powell. Midfield four, Kinsella, Stewart, McAllister, Wilcox, Jordan Bartlett up front. Subs, Ben Roberts, Andy Reid, John Robinson, Jonathan Johansson, Jonathan Fortune. So I think I have 9 starters from my starting 11. I have Beckham and Van Nistelrooy in the 5:30. Phillips is my vice captain. My first sub was Klaus Jensen. He's not available for Charlton. So then in line is Nikos Dabizas and Richard Rufus, who both have fairly disastrous fixtures. So certainly fingers crossed from my own perspective that Beckham and Van Nistelrooy play later. We're about 3 minutes till kickoff. Do let us know in the comments, guys, if you liked me doing it blind. I part did it blind as well because I expected a load of shots. But other than Dean Gordon, I don't think there are too many so far. I don't know if that bodes well for Manchester United later or not. Obviously, Jason Kumas missing out for Ipswich. But I don't think that's a huge surprise considering he keeps getting withdrawn quite early. Just looking back through the chat now to see if anyone really feels like they're missing anyone. Gary Smith saying about Petrescu red card. Yeah, that won't kick in till I think it's game week 19. But double check that. The guys, Joe Jenkins, love James Blanking Gordon. All right, he's not alive. I get it. So no, it doesn't look like there's anyone. Probably a little bit of disappointment for Danny Murphy owners, maybe. But just looking back through the chat, no major ones. Obviously, the headline news is no Dean Gordon. I do believe that every single Manchester United player could get left out later today. I have some DMs from Captain, which means information for you guys incoming. Let's start with captaincy ownership. I will do captaincy by the top 300. 89% of captains Ruud van Nistelrooy with that fixture against West Ham at 5:30 today. Juan Sebastian Veron has 5% ownership in the top 300. Sergei Rebrov 4%. Essentially, that's it in the top 300. There will be other little bits and pieces. David Seaman actually appears on the top 10 list. I have no idea why. Selakovic got 1%. This is overall. Rebrov 3% overall. Fowler 1% overall. Beckham 1% overall. Even Shearer doesn't appear. So you basically got Van Nistelrooy's overall captaincy is 72%, 89% in the top 300. So it's Van Nistelrooy, Veron, essentially the only captain playing now in the 3 o'clocks, which are now underway. You'll see clock is ticking. He's Sergei Rebrov, who plays against Charlton following Spurs' disappointing defeat to Derby in game week 17. Ownership in the top 300. Van Nistelrooy now is 98% owned in the top 300. 87% overall. Johnston, 84% owned in the top 300. Selakovic, 69% in the top 300. Rebrov and Fester also above 50% owned. Boksic 50% owned. So good news for Boksic owners that he does start. That's 50% in the top 300. But I think we all know, no guarantee that he's going to get through this. My take on it was he might play 45 minutes and get me a goal, and therefore it's not worth taking a hit to get someone else in. Other well-owned players, Silvestre still has 22% ownership in the top 300. That's really interesting. So, I mean, I thought of holding and then making the transfer next week. So, I can understand if people have done that. Hariderson, the new Lord, really, let's be very honest, now the best value player in the game. 47% own the top 300. David Seaman and Veron, both above 40%. Lord Staunton down to 37% ownership now in the top 300. Igor Biscan up to 37% owned in the top 300, 24% overall. Veron's overall ownership, just of note, 22%. Most transferred in is Laurent Blanc, 153 new owners. Hariderson and Ian Hart, both more than 50. Stolzers has 41 new owners. Pedersen, 40 new owners. We have an early goal at St Mary's. Clean sheet wipeouts team has scored. Southampton lead Everton. Mark Draper, the scorer, and E17's Brian Howard with the assist. That's my Alan Stubbs clean sheet bust. Draper goal, Howard assist. Saints lead Everton 1-0. So Blanc, 153 new owners transferred in by 11%. He was one who was on a short list really of 4 that I was considering, and my immediate thought was yes, just go Silvestre to Blanc. I've decided against it, and I'll part explain why. I'm going to do a little bit on fixtures at half time. Most transferred out, inevitably, Mikel Silvestre, 312 transfers out. So he's lost 23% of owners, still holds a similar number. Alan Boksic lost 50 owners. I think the fear over is obviously 81% fitness. Anders Svensson's lost 39. Steve Malbronk 30. And Steve Staunton's lost 27 owners. Goal to tell you about at the Stadium of Light, be a popular one. Julio Arca has scored for Sunderland. There is no assister. Defensive Blackburn have conceded already. Julio Arca with the goal for Sunderland. No assister. 2 minutes gone. We have 2 goals already. Both for teams in red and white stripes. Oh, excuse me. Right, thirsty today. I have more information from Captain, who's obviously being helped out by our game makers. Did I do a toast at the start? I felt like I didn't. Dave, James, Andy, Motley Barnett's, Wiggabolly, Willy Bolly. Well done. Keep up the good work, guys. Captains messaged me chips. There have been 4 treble captains played. I'll cut in there. Goal at Portman Road to tell you about as well. Chelsea 16th in the league. Sat Claudio Ranieri. And the benefits are not being seen as yet. Ipswich lead at Portman Road. Goal scorer is Finidi George. Assist goes to Matt Holland. Ipswich 1, Chelsea 0. 3 minutes gone there. They're flying in already today. 4 treble captains. Fuck me, James. 4 triple captain chips played. 3 of them on Ruud van Nistelrooy. 1 of them on Thierry Henry. There've only been 2 wildcards played this game week. And obviously, for those who've still got the first one, you've only got 1 more week. You've got to use it next week. And there's been 1 bench boost played. 1 bench boost played. That's all your stats numbers. Well done to James, Whitebeard, whoever else is providing that information for FPL Captain and passing it on to us. Thank you very much. So information on some of those goals starting to trickle in. We'll go first to St Mary's. Game week is up and running. What great news it is for Brian Howard and Mark Draper owners! Exclamation mark. The young winger centres nicely for Draper at the near post, and he slides in ahead of Simonson to turn it home. On the Ipswich goal, Antonucci's stint as caretaker manager not off to a flyer, it's fair to say. Simple for Ipswich. Matt Holland plays Finidi through on goal in all sorts of space, and he hits it high and hard past Cudicini. Not got the commentary on the Julio Arca goal as yet, but I'm sure that will follow very shortly. Right. 3 goals already, all scored by home teams, almost inevitably. We know how this works. I agree. The Henry triple captaincy at Villa is a very, very interesting move that someone's made there. If you know who you are, stand forward, let us know. On the Arca goal, Sunderland get a great start here. Wetherill makes a great challenge on Schwartz, but Arca gathers the loose ball and smashes a perfectly placed finish past the rooted Alan Kelly. Sibon has also seen his free kick go close. Andrew Martin keeps banging on about Arca, doesn't he? Is he in your dead team, Andrew? He's got to be, isn't he? Captain saying Tala Nadeem at the helm for the stats today. Well done, Tala. Great job there, pal. FPL Blade was very close to getting Arca in. He's always close to something, isn't he? You get close on nights out, mate. Pep Talk says, I thought Chelsea had scored too. Nearly pooed myself. Storm Legacy, 50% of my clean sheet wipeout is the first goal of the weekend. This feels nice. Colm says, take it that beer nuts package is still missing, James. Yes, it is, unfortunately. I'll come back onto that. Another home team has scored at the Cottage. Louis Sahar on as a substitute. Scored against Blackburn. He's scored again here. Louis Boamorte with the assist. Louis and Louis combining. Louis Sahar with a goal. Louis Boamorte with the assist. Cheers, King Louis. Fulham 1, Derby 0. Oh, yes, the beer nuts package is lost. Cut a long story short, I messaged Steph at Beer Nuts a couple of hours ago. I wasn't complaining. It was just to say to him, look, just in case you've had issues with other people, these fuckers have lost it, and they need to let me know what's happening. So Steph being Steph was like, oh, I could get you a new one. Like, don't do that. It's not your problem. Wait and see what they say. But yeah, they never tried to deliver it. It's been missing. They updated. Another home team has scored. This one will be popular. It's at the Lane. Stefan Selakovic has given Tottenham Hotspur the lead against Charlton Athletic. Assist again goes to Gustavo Poyet. Selakovic goal. Poyet assist. Spurs lead 1-0 against Charlton. 7 minutes gone, and 5 of the 9 teams playing at home at 3 o'clock have scored. Spurs 1, Charlton 0. Much needed goal for Spurs after the disappointing result against Derby in game week 17. Yeah, they sent me an update on Wednesday to say it was back out for delivery. I was like, cool. Got to Friday, still no idea of a time or nothing. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So they got back in touch with me and said, we can't find it. All right, fuck off and find it, innit? They said, can you give us an idea of what the package looks like? First thing I'm thinking is, I ain't delivering it, I'm receiving it. Second thing is, yeah, there's a load of beer in there. It's not a small package. Where have you hid it? Information on the Lewis Sahar goal. Fulham quick out the blocks here and they score with the first meaningful attack of the game. Clark crosses for Boamorte. It's heavy, but Boamorte keeps it alive, recycling the ball into the 6-yard box where Sahar beats Higginbotham to head home. Shit, just spilt most of that. It's a shame, isn't it? So remains goalless only at Villa Park, at Reebok, at Anfield and the Riverside. I don't anticipate any of them staying that way. Brian Yule says his free hit team's doing great. Good. Hope all the new players again welcome. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Shows how easy you can fuck up the thing on the website. I did like a free hit team this week, obviously, like most people on the website, and forgot to click the bench boost button. So let that be a lesson for many of you. I realised that at 132, it's like, oh, I wonder if I tick that. Nope, didn't activate the bench boost. So I've only got 11 players. Got an amazing bench this week, mate. But didn't click the bench boost. Let that be a lesson to all of you to double check and make sure you click to activate that if or when you want to use it later in the season. If, of course, you didn't use it in double game week 15 or the one person out there who activated it this week. Optimus Prime's feeling confident today. 2 goals for me for the moment today. I will post 10 goals. Selakovic has posted 1. Spurs take the lead and it's a lovely, incisive, direct move. Poyet looks up and plays a lovely pass to Selakovic on the edge of the box. And with his back to goal, he swivels on it and dispatches a fine shot past Kylie. We have a second goal at the Stadium of Light. Joel Sibon has scored again for Sunderland. And George McCartney has the assist. Sunderland 2 up against Blackburn. Nothing yet for Super Kevin Phillips. Sibon with the goal. McCartney with the assist. Does that mean that Blackburn, defensive, 2-0 down after 12 minutes, do they come out and play? To be confirmed. Sunderland are very quietly on a good run. Obviously, they went 2-0 down to Leeds in the last game week, but recovered to get a draw out of that. On a good little run, Sunderland. They have had the benefit of a good fixture run, it's worth saying. And I think that does shortly come to an end. David Strom says, is Collins injured or something? I'm not sure, actually. Someone let David Strom know in the chat if John Collins is injured. I feel like I've missed that or forgotten it, one or the other. On the Sibon goal, Peter Shreves has certainly got Sunderland playing. They lead 2-0 now. McCartney sending in a great cross for Sibon, which the Dutchman heads goal was. Kelly gets a hand to it but can't keep it out, and Sibon makes sure of it on the line. Should McCartney get the assist for that? I think that's dubious goal panel. Just saying. Dubious goal panel on the McCartney assist there. Bradley's Phillips, come on. FPL number saying good, no Phillips. Pep Talk saying Sibon's suddenly an option. Question. Graham S thinks Phillips is waiting for the 78th minute before getting his 2 returns again. Yeah, we'll take that. But he had away. Sibon, my shout for highest scoring player under 8 million. Still nothing in my actual team. Anybody got information on Collins for David Strom? I can't remember. Colm says, pretty sure Collins was fit pre-deadline. Sean Murphy says, going to regret not taking a punt on Sahar. Brian Yule says, I like the idea of taking a punt on Sibon. As he's an hour, I just couldn't do it. Pep Talk says, dodged a bullet with Collins. My transfer was going to be Stolzers or Collins this week. Went Stolzers. Phew. Yeah, till Stolzers gets sent off. Andrew Martin says, ball was over the line already for Sibon goal. So McCartney does get the assist for his... How many owners has McCartney got, Andrew? We reckon 1. Brian Yule says, I'll get Sibon when James gets he who shall not be named. Over my dead body, mate. You'll never be getting Sibon then. Pete Squires, it's harder to get Dom Cummins to apologise than to get into the Wolfpack FA Cup. Been a very near miss at Villa Park. Arsenal should be in front here. Lundberg beautifully picks out Bergkamp. He strolls onto the ball and you expect to see the net bulge, but he somehow contrives to put it wide. What a miss. John UK saying 12 minutes in already, a better game week than last week. 3-hit team doing nicely as well. I can't remember what my 3-hit team was. I think it was mainly made up of Spurs, Fulham, Middlesbrough and Sunderland, if I remember correctly. And United. But I didn't put Van Nistelrooy in it. I just thought, might as well go with something different here, right? Michael Denforth says that should be the end of the Sunderland scoring for the day. And Kevin Phillips owners rejoiced that someone has tempted fate. Luke's in the chat. Disabled says Collins plays less than 30 in most sims. Gary Smith saying no Jeffers. Nope. Francis Jeffers left out of the Arsenal lineup. Slightly altered formation for them. Dennis Bergkamp playing attacking midfield position. Liam H says fully expecting Jeff Stelling to be wearing a Hartlepool cap when Soccer Saturday returns. I don't think so. But he's worn scarves and shirts and whatnots a few times, hasn't he? I'm waiting for Soccer Saturday to give me a call and tell all my patrons, sorry guys. I'm moving on. Patrons, by the way, if you are in the chat, I've got some good news coming for you very soon in the next 24 hours or so, 48 hours maximum. Optimus Prime is saying the best asset is Veron. Standing firm now. You wait till he's benched later, mate. Pep Talk has responded to an earlier comment from Clean Sheet Wipeout about Collins' age. How old is he? He won't be the youngest, I can tell you that. Another near miss at Villa Park. You feel the pattern of this game is set. Arsenal are dominant, creating chances at will now. They go close again. Tony Adams with the chance here from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's free kick. But his header bounces back off the post. Pete Squires saying, shout out for Disabled's new stream. What you got planned, Luke? I can tell you, those who watched Luke and Andy's excellent video on Scout yesterday, which I managed to catch up on yesterday afternoon, that Luke was saying he's going to do stuff for the official Championship Manager YouTube channel on a Thursday, I believe, and Luke will, I'm sure, clarify in the chat if he's still around, that is now going to be Wednesday night, immediately after this stream and immediately after game week 19. So I presume Luke will go live 10ish, 10:30. I don't know, it's up to him. But you'll get the 2.5 hours of the stream, and then immediately Luke will give you all his reaction, all his thoughts from the game week, and straight into game week 19. We'll obviously point Luke's way as well. Gary Smith, what's with the headphone? I always wear the headphones. It's meant to be to cancel out the sound. From experience, and I'm going to find out if this goes wrongly or not in a minute or so. We found when I started my Ask James streams, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know the reason why, but someone gave me the tip of using the headphones to make the sound better, and it does. That's it, as in it makes it better for you. So that's just what I've always done. Plus, I look better with headphones on, I think, right? Yeah. I just look better with headphones on as well. That's what I've now decided. Yeah, Luke's saying Wednesday now, directly after games and this stream is when he'll be doing his bits. Early substitutions to tell you about. Early blow here for Everton, who have also seen Thomas Gravison booked. They lose Paul Gascoigne to injury. Joe Maximore, his replacement. It's been a surprisingly open and entertaining game here. Chances are coming for both sides. I think that's more on Southampton than Everton, I'd have thought. But Everton's system a little bit interesting today. Yeah, Luke confirmed in terms of where people can find his stream on Wednesday nights. It'll be the same channel as what Dave and Andy do their stream on a Sunday night. The same channel as that. Sean Murphy, Luke is great, but wish Andy was on too. He adds a lot in those streams. Good player. Andy adds loads. Our good friend Andy from Let's Talk FPL. What he adds best is allowing Luke to speak. Andy, if you're in there, mate, you know I'm joking. Andy's a brilliant, brilliant host. They complement each other so well. I'd like to see that as a podcast, by the way, guys. Just saying. That's me personal. I prefer audio content than video. But yeah. You two got good chemistry, actually. Really well done. Rob Pick. Who do I pick in Scout versus Expert, Jane? You asking me who you picked? I can't remember, mate. Did you go Arca? I think you went Arca, actually. I went Teddy, yeah. I ain't fucking finished yet, you prick. And what's the score? Put that in the chat. Me and Rob picked the Scout. We have a head-to-head, week on week. We have to pick a player, and that player can't be picked again for the whole season. Head-to-head. What's the score, Rob? You want to put that in the chat? Because you still got some catching up to do, boy. Gary Smith thinks I'm a hybrid of Stelling and Kamara. Don't know if that's a compliment or not. I mean, I'm Stelling and Such is Kamara, right? Sorry he can't be here again last week. It was good fun having him on last week, though, wasn't it? Something different. Went really well. He did good. I mean, I tried to cut him off as much as possible. And at least he knows now that Jermaine Defoe does play for West Ham. Brad Lunda, just come into the stream to see my captain Selakovic has scored. Wonderful. You'd certainly be a rare person there who's captained him. As said earlier, at the top, nearly everyone on Van Nistelrooy, and there's a bit on Veron and Rebrov. That's it. Brian Newell saying, all gone very quiet, which made me look at myself in terms of, am I not talking enough? But no, we've not had a goal for 9 minutes. Shit, this game, innit? 9 minutes without a goal. You can see the captaincy stats if you're coming in late on screen now. Bottom right-hand corner, little bit of captaincy, top 300 for Fowler, Beckham, Burnway, Omri. Update from the Riverside. A little low in the action, which the guys are sure won't last. Middlesbrough pressing with Hamilton Rickard in great form, looking especially lively. Newcastle, though, are offering absolutely nothing. Okay, interesting. Forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, can't remember. Yes, Andy, I see you. Hello, Neil Murray, our friend Ronaldinho's in the chat. Hello, pal. Late riser perhaps who's joined us as well. Says evening, ladies. Good man. Rob Pitt confirms the score is 11-6, soon to be 11-7. So he says. We'll see. Teddy's got 70 minutes to go. Yeah. FPL has WATP. What does that mean? WATP. What are the players? I don't know. What's WATP? You're good, Brian. Don't worry. Late Riser's gone with Veron captain. Hope he starts. I think that United team news in just out of an hour could be bad. Really, really bad. And I think the fact is to factor in that a lot of the guys just played against 2 low reputation teams in a row. And they play Arsenal next. Which is in 4 days, remember. In simulation now, it's 4 days, 4 days, 4 days till we get beyond the Christmas period. So I think this is 22nd December. Wednesday's Boxing Day. It's a 4-day turnaround. I ain't resting players at Arsenal, surely. Because Arsenal will have the next highest reputation other than Manchester United. So if they're going to get rotated, today looks the obvious one. So I mean, I made sure. Ordinarily, I probably would have put Beckham as vice captain, but I've gone Phillips, knowing that he would start in case. I really think United could. They're all susceptible to rotation. All of them, probably bar the goalkeeper, maybe. They're all susceptible to rotation, and they could all play, by the way. But I think, yeah, that's going to be big news that we get at 4:30. I think at least one of the big hitters won't play. Kev Mack, we are the people. Rangers FPL, we are the people. Who knows? I know now. Cheers. Pete Squires, to confirm, if Spurs are playing Saturday afternoons or Wednesday nights, are you having deserved night off? We'll miss the stream if so, but as a fellow Spurs fan, would be missing it too. The only thing I can clarify for everybody right now is there will be no stream if it clashes with Spurs playing. Simple as that. We and the guys are in talks about what to do to still make the stream and the game week work now that we know obviously Premier League football is scheduled to return. By the way, it's not confirmed, but what I can confirm is that Tottenham's clean sheet is gone at White Hart Lane. Goal scorer for Charlton is Graham Stewart, and the assist goes to Tottenham fan Chris Powell, who was last seen following Alan Pardew around somewhere in Holland. Graham Stewart goal, Chris Powell assist. Tottenham 1, Charlton 1. Yeah, we need to figure out what's going to be right, and no decision is going to be made until we know the fixture list. But yes, I am not missing Spurs. You lot all know that already. It's not happening. No way. Love you all. Love doing this. I'm not missing Spurs. Hassan Carlos and Veron captain as well. Lee Godfrey saying, does anyone have the 3 Dutch strikers? What's that? Bergkamp, Van Nistelrooy and Sibon, is it? Goal at Anfield. Leeds clean sheet is gone for new Ian Hart owners, although I suspect they weren't expecting it today. The goal scorer for Liverpool is Steven Gerrard. Again, 1-0 Liverpool, no assist on that goal. Steven Gerrard has given Liverpool the lead 25 minutes in at Anfield. Bloody hell. Good job I didn't keep Kumas, innit? Fucking points between Gerrard and Kumas these last 2 game weeks. My goodness. Gary Shepherd saying, already got Collins and Flash Gordon missing. Could do with all 3 United players. I wouldn't bank on it, mate. But it could all play. I could be very, very wrong. FPL Booster's gone Henri captain, Boxic vice captain. FPL numbers is Graham Stewart a starter. Not normally. Klaus Jensen was touch and go whether he was going to make it back or not, and will almost certainly take his place. And I think Scott Parker had covered in as well ahead of him. On the Stewart goal, clever play by Chris Powell. He wins a free kick in a nice area, but instead of waiting for cavalry, he spots Stewart's run. He puts a lovely ball over the defence, and Stewart, in acres of space against a static defensive line, heads past Keller. And on the Gerrard goal, Liverpool's first shot of the game, and they lead. Emil Heskey is about to shoot, but Ian Hart challenges him superbly. The ball rolls to Gerrard on the edge of the box, and his fierce first-time shot is beyond Nigel Martin's reach. But here's a red card. Red card incoming at Anfield between Liverpool and Leeds. They have 2 on the pitch there, Hippier and Gerrard. And I think a lot of nervousness because of the future double game that's coming up for Leeds. The red card has gone to Liverpool's Patrick Berger. Stupid by Patrick Berger. His team have just taken the lead, but after giving away a cheap free kick, he gets himself a straight red for foul and abusive language to the ref, Jeff Winter. Liverpool have brought on Stephen Wright for Emil Heskey in a reshuffle. Lots of undercurrent. I see differentials looking at Emil Heskey this game week. That's probably the bigger headline than the Berger red card. Berger sent off. Emil Heskey subbed off. Leeds will obviously have the opportunity to get back into this now. Bradley Parker screaming for Viduka to punish them. I know my plan transfers for game week 19. It's a -4. It's Gus Poyet to Stephen McPhail. And it's Alan Boxic to Mark Viduka and captain Mark Viduka at Southampton in game week 19. That is my plan. Ball is in the net at the Reebok. And James Scowcroft has it in the net, but it has been disallowed. Forgotten man Scowcroft has the ball in the net, but it's ruled out very contentiously. He was ruled to be offside from Impey's layoff, but he looked onside. The Leicester players are protesting furiously, but to no avail. Remains goalless at the Reebok between Bolton and Leicester. Yeah, that Boxic to Heskey -4 don't look great now. Some people will have made that move, I'm certain. Brian Neal's asking for it to go back to quiet again. We can do that if you want, Brian. Dick Wellington says, lol, Heskey. goal at Villa Park. And for the one person who's triple captain Thierry Henry, you're in. He's scored. Assist goes to Robert Perez. Not the first time this season those two have combined. I think Robert Perez, I saw, might have had the most chances created over the last 4 game weeks. It's Henry goal, Robert Perez assist. Arsenal lead 1-0 at Villa Park. Henry goal, Perez assist. Fascinated to see what Van Nistelrooy owners are going to do about Thierry Henry once we get to game week 23, if Arsenal do indeed have their scheduled double. So it means it only remains goalless at the Reebok and at the Riverside, where a win for Middlesbrough here would put them 6 points clear ahead of Manchester United playing at 5:30. Information on the Henry goal. Arsenal utterly dominant in the early stages here, and now they lead. Great play by Perez down the left, who puts in a lovely ball for Henry, who rises higher than Schmeichel to head home. The Dane has played well so far, but that is an error. Clean sheet wipeout, says, fuck's sake, needed that Scowcroft return. Cobbler's got Henry vice captain. Gary Smith says, will I get my bench and triple captain second half of the season? Well, if you ain't used them, yeah. If you have, no. Graham S says, Arsenal to concede a late equaliser yet again. Harry's having a nap at the moment, but if necessary, we will wake him up just to curse Arsenal. He hates them. Fucking despises Arsenal. FPL number says Henry is a troll. Henry has 11 goals in 18 game weeks. I'm not sure how much of a troll that makes him. Apologies, 10 goals in 18 game weeks. Does that make him a troll, scoring in more than one every 2? Gary Smith saying dissent for Berger. Yes, that was the reason for the sending off. Neil Murray says, only game goalless is where I have my triple captain. Neil is one of our new players. He'll obviously be playing online. I'm going to guess his treble captain is most likely got to be one of 2, isn't it? Pedersen or... Actually, I'd just go... Neil, did you go Pedersen? Oh, you put it in brackets there. Pedersen, yeah. Yeah, that Boxic would have been brave with the fitness issues. Block FPL says a Rebroff return is coming soon. It'd be a disappointment for owners if he doesn't return today, having blanked against Derby with them 2 very attractive home fixtures. And Neil Murray, your treble captain, has not scored, but he has assisted. Paul Warhurst is the Bolton Wanderers scorer, playing OOP against Leicester City. It's Warhurst the goal scorer. Pedersen with the assist, which means the only game that remains goalless so far is at the Riverside. Leicester in free fall. Gone bleak very, very quickly for them. Eric Bravo says, we need Harry back. Want that Henry red again? Not really. I might be triple captain him in game week 23, so could do without the suspension, to be honest. FPL Essential. You're about 25 minutes late. This is Poet-Salakovic combo finally paying off. Well done. Information on that Warhurst goal. If Leicester were angry before, they'll be raging now because they trail. Pedersen gets his head up to surprise the defence. And finally, on-rushing Warhurst, and he hits it well with his right foot past an out-of-position Tim Flowers. I suspect that Leicester could put Flowers and Walker in goal together in any game week, and it wouldn't improve their results. Max says, Warhurst was in my website free hit team, but I took him out. I couldn't tell you what my website free hit team is. It was meant to be a bench boost team, but that didn't exactly work. Petzook says, for a minute there I heard Warhurst OAP. Bit harsh. OAP could well have slipped. Not harsh. True. Is it Mrs. Woodyback's birthday? Andy Murray, I have great news for you. Pedersen has the ball in the net again, but it's disallowed. Sorry, mate. Another goal chalked off, but this looked correct. Southall played the ball over the top to Pedersen, who got there ahead of Flowers to slot home, but he had just strayed offside. Flowers off the hook there. Yeah. Put Ian Walker on at centre half and play them both. It's not going to get better for Leicester. Brian Yule says, funny how Wise got injured and Leicester fell off a cliff. Who knew? Who knew, eh? God, Gary, you question City you are, aren't you, pal? Tweet these guys after. Brendan Davis saying Warhurst great fifth choice defender at 4.5, but he doesn't often play. But someone who does regularly play and he's starting to show returns and a bit of form. He's Matt Holland of Ipswich Town, who has put them 2-0 up against Chelsea. No assister on Ipswich's second goal. Matt Holland with the goal, no assister. Chelsea, my God. They're having a nightmare. Ipswich 2, Chelsea 0. Matt Holland, the goal scorer. Pete Squires asked Sandy Martin roughly how many players registered for second half of the season. Website is fire. Very impressive to create that. We're all grateful. Yes, the website's absolutely fire. To answer the main thing, though, the message to everyone is get your mates involved. Tell everyone. Let's get people playing this game. Eric Ravo says Warhurst bandwagon. Can't see it. Information on the Holland goal. Great strike by Matt Holland. He picks up a loose ball off Emmanuel Petit's tackle about 30 yards out. Advances a little before unleashing an unstoppable finish past Carlo Cudicini. It thunders in off the underside of the bar. Perfection. Love a goal off the underside of the bar. Just something about them. Beautiful. Eric Ravo says Chelsea relegation incoming. Do you know, if Chelsea get relegated, I definitely want to play another season. Chelsea's going down. There's lots of that in the chat. Block FBO says Chelsea needs to get a new owner already. Yeah. wish that new owner hadn't turned up. Cal says, I miss pre-Abramovich Chelsea. Me too, Cal. Cal, while you're in the chat, do me a favour. DM me at some point later today, mate. I don't know your Twitter handle. Don't put it in the chat because I might not see all the chat back. But yeah, DM me later, mate. I've got a thanks to give you. Pep talk. Leicester could buy Steve Potts to give defensive protection to Tim Flowers. They would have Potts and Flowers. Boom, boom. Don't give up the day job, mate. Woodward's been hit at Villa Park. A great team move nearly ends with Arsenal 2 ahead. Van Bronckhorst's shot from Albertini's chip pass is ferocious, but it cannons back off the crossbar. So close to 2. Villa need to shape up here and fast. FPL Hitman says, dilly ding, dilly dong Chelsea. Leicester to appoint Ranieri. Could happen, you know. Don't rule it out. Could happen. Ian Parrin. He's going for comedy stand-ups as well. Adding to Flowers and Potts, he says, at Pep Talk, how about a young Petal Czech? I mean, come on. Dick Wellington says, blame Jesper for Abramovich. Who knows how different the history of Chelsea Football Club may have looked if they'd not beat Liverpool on that final day in 2003. Graham S. Stanic going to break hearts again with another pointless late consolation. I said I fancy him to return today, actually, the position he's playing. Yeah, I could see that. We are coming up to minute 38, guys, and after an extremely eventful start, it's calmed down a little bit. Only game with both teams scoring so far is at White Hart Lane between Tottenham and Charlton. At half-time, guys, we're going to have a little look at some fixture stuff coming up in preparation for blanks and doubles. FPLB says, think the sun's getting to... and we'll just never know. We'll just never know. Oh, God, it's all gone wrong. Colm says that backline might wilt when Danny Drinkwater arrives, though, at Ian Parrin. Danny Rose says cow, and it's all gone wrong for Aston Villa at Villa Park. Red card for Olof Mellberg. Villa need to shape up, but that doesn't seem likely now as Mellberg receives a justified straight red for a two-footed challenge on Van Bronckhorst. Henry shoots from the resulting free kick and Schmeichel saves brilliantly. Graham S. I'm not reading out that comment. Bollocks. So yeah, Arsenal looking well on course for a potential clean sheet and victory at Villa Park today. FPL Andy, both teams to score in a Spurs game is a banker in this game. Isn't it just, mate? Andy G, the Golf Pro. I'm not sure I want to read that out. Can you give my kids, Emily and James, Riverside, mother fudgers? No headphones this week. Mother fudgers, Emily James, hope you're well. Scary, isn't it? Fulham are 2 up at the Cottage. Why play one right back when you can play two? Steve Finnan is the goal scorer. Martin Corrigan with the assist. Finnan with a goal. Corrigan with the assist. I think Finnan at some point is going to develop into a player in this game that people will want to buy. Finnan goal. Corrigan assist. I don't know if I want to swear now. I got Emily and James in. I don't know if I want to swear. How's the kids, Andy? Let me know. Cole Coots says red card possibly good for Schmeichel's save points. It saves like yes save points, but he was also at fault for the goal. So you might get a bit of save points, but it's probably not going to be bonus on the rating unless he makes a succession of good saves. We shall see. FPL Hatters only return so far is Mellberg red. Things can only get better, right? Not necessarily. Information on the Finnan goal for Fulham. It's been a fairly quiet game, but Fulham have been on top and they now lead by 2. It's a spectacular strike too. Finnan is in space, 18 yards out, but his volley from Corrigan's cross is absolutely perfect. Poom doesn't even move. Rocket. Interesting. Storm Legacy, Ipswich treble defence return and Henry return at this point. You absolutely cannot count defensive returns till you get to at least 60, mate. Can't do that, pal. Andy G, the Golf Pro says, cheers, James. They're 7 and 10. We're playing games so they haven't heard all the F-bombs. Oh, good. Fuck it then. I'll say what I want. Hope you're having a good day, Andy. Nice one, mate. Woodwork's been hit at the Cottage. Ravanelli very close to bringing Derby back into the game. He reaches Malcolm Christie's pass, but his effort flicks off the bar on the way over. Fulham have changed approach to be more defensive. I wonder how that will work for them second half. Probably not well, knowing Fulham. Pet Talk says, not a good day for players with Berg in their name at the moment. So we got Mellberg, Bergkamp, Henningberg. Who else we got? Brian Newell's got a Corrigan assist. That's nice. Good. FPL Cobbler, red card trading incoming. We've had 2. We've had Berg and Mellberg. Could there be more? Liam H says, phew, Mellberg is my second up. Yeah, second sub. Yeah, wait till you see that Man United team, Liam. Clean sheet Wipeout says, never count defensive returns this early, jinxing the lot. Substitutions at Villa Park. This has been a half to forget for Villa. They haven't had a shot yet and they've just lost 2 players to injury in 3 minutes. Ian Taylor's hamstring went and now Alpay has picked up a knock. Boateng and Hitzelsberger on in their place. Who are Villa playing at centre-half? My goodness. So Mellberg sent off. Alpay gone off. We've got Stephen Carr at Alan Wright at centre-half. Bloody hell. Expect Henry headed goals incoming. My God. That Henry triple captainer, you could be sitting on gold dust there, mate. Genuinely. Carol, seen your message, but I'll read it after the stream, mate. But thank you. The Storm Legacy, come on, it's Chelsea down, scoring. You really want to tempt your Ipswich treble there, didn't you, mate? Hassan Kalla still on 0 returns. Southampton have a penalty at St Mary's. Gavin Ray crosses for Beattie, but Unsworth backs into him and knocks him down. Clumsy, and it's a penalty. Yellow card for Unsworth. Dan Petrescu, 4.5 million defender playing in midfield, is to step up and take that penalty. Give us a quick hand up if you've got a Petrescu. A Petrescu, just the Petrescu. David Strong wants Staunton on at Villa Park. Wasn't even a sub, mate. Neither was Gareth Barry, I don't think. They've used the subs they've had to. As Luke said on his stream in a minute, in the week, AI, not necessarily the brightest. Pete Squires says Omri's going to go mad now. Yes, I think he could. Rangers FPL says, come on, Redbroth. Following a pep talk comment. Can't believe Spurs lost to Derby and are now drawing at home to Charlton. Goal scored by Dan Petrescu. And the assist goes to James Beattie. Gary Smith has Petrescu. Aritro has Beattie, my free hit team captain. Gary Smith has added on the bench. Brian Yule's got Billy Petrescu. John D. Pet Rescue. Max's scout has him. Pep Talk sold Petrescu last week with Gerrard and Fowler. That was part of your -8, was it? I mean, at least losing Petrescu last week, didn't they? Yeah? No, good, Cal. Thanks for that, mate. Excuse me. So it's Petrescu scorer, BT assist. We're not confirmed half-time yet. Games are still ongoing. FPL captain has stopped the clock. If you're playing Corv's drinking game, feel free to get rid of your drink. Or half of it, whatever that game is. But please remember to drink responsibly. Clean Sheet Wipeout says, getting Saints need the points. Romanian makes no mistake. Power in his penalty pass. Simonson, sign him up, fantasy managers. Question, says the official account. Nah, you're right. Andrew Martin said, Arsenal could go mad unless they take players off the rest ahead of the Boxing Day clash. Man, he's one evil motherfucker, isn't he? Henry, off on 59. Henry, off on 59. Graham S says Arsenal will somehow end up at 1-1. I mean, I'm not going to get Harry in today. I don't think. I'll save him for more important game weeks. It's too sweet. Heavy Finger 7, Petrescu, man, real life missed penalty shootout v Sweden 94 World Cup. Romania would have played World Cup semi-final v Brazil. They got beaten the same way that Sweden did as well. Good team, that Romania team from 94 though. I should know, we bought a few of them. Half-time's confirmed. So Arsenal lead 1-0 at Villa. Henry goal. Bolton lead Leicester 1-0. Pedersen assist for Warhurst. Fulham lead 2-0 against Derby. Goals for certainly the two Louis combined for the first one. Finnan and Corrigan combined for the second one. Ipswich lead 2-0 against Chelsea. No attacking returns for any of the defensive units, but obviously at the moment they haven't conceded. They lead Manchester's Chelsea by 2-0. Matt Holland amongst the scorers for Ipswich. Fanidi George with the first. Liverpool lead Leeds 1-0 for a Steven Gerrard goal. Patrick Berger has been sent off for the Reds. Middlesbrough Newcastle remains goalless. Southampton lead Everton 2-0. Could be a much needed victory for the Saints. Sunderland are 2-up against Blackburn. Arca and Sibon, the goal scorers. And Spurs and Charlton is 1-1. Selakovic with the goal for Spurs, assisted by Poyet. But Graham Stewart had equalised for Charlton. It's 1-1 at White Hart Lane. And that is, so far, the only game where both teams have scored. So, I said I'd do a little bit on fixtures. Just want to have a look at a few things. One of the things, part covering off my decision to go for... Cheers, Carl Coot. How old's your dad? Going for Dabizas as my Sylvester replacement. So, there were 4 players I considered. Laurent Blanc was one. Ian Hart, I think naturally, same value, all that. Jolien Lescott and Dabizas. I didn't want to go Blanc or Hart because of what happens next. And that's what led me to want to get a 4.5. And I kind of decided that I was going to end up on Lescott. I just think a couple of home games coming. And as we'll look at in a minute, game week 19, if you haven't had a look, is a crisis, mate. Basically, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. I landed on Dabizas. Bad fixture today, although they haven't conceded yet. Lost the last 3 1-0, so they haven't been conceding mountains of goals. Obviously struggling to score goals. The only sides, as I said, that have the next 3 games at home, and they are Ipswich, Southampton and Chelsea. So, I mean, they are not disastrous home fixtures by any stretch. Then they go to Fulham in blank game week 22. If neither of them or Arsenal draw in the FA Cup third round, they will have a game week 23 double. Leicester away and Arsenal at home. And in game week 24, they have West Ham at home. And if you want to go further, although they then play the game against Arsenal in game week 25 away, when you could obviously leave him out, they then play Charlton at home in 26, Blackburn at home in 28. So actually, were I not to use the second wild card for quite a while, I think it's actually, as much as I know certainly Tom Cantwell from Who Got the Assist and I were both of the, oh my God, this guy's absolutely burned us. I think the late goal they conceded to Sunderland around about game week 8 or 9 was like last straw. It's like, oh, every week he's letting you down and getting 1-2 pointers. But it's 4.5 million. You can play him at the right time, leave him out at the wrong time. And it opens up doors for me to make the next move. So as I said, my planned -4 for game week 19 is to lose Gus Poyet. Now that Spurs' decent run is coming to an end. Not that you should, if you're a Redruth owner, for example, I don't think you should fear Leicester away, Blackburn away, Leeds at home, blank, then potential double. But going Poyet to McPhail then allows me more than enough to go from Boxic to Viduka. And it would also allow me, when fit, Shearer straight to Phillips as well. It will then be difficult for me to perhaps work in Ian Hart as well. I might decide to cut a different corner and go for Gary Kelly, for example, or Lucas Radaby. I might look at different ways of having some Leeds defensive coverage. I might even decide to go all in and find a way of getting Harry Kewell in, for example. I haven't quite decided yet, but those are my immediate plans. Now, on game week 19, Storm Legacy says hit the button. You probably won't do it if he says it. No disrespect. But I'm saying hit the button. Keep Suj happy. He's a fucking in, man. Give the video a like and all that stuff. Game week 19, right? Arsenal, Man United play each other. Nightmare. Liverpool, who, if you've still got Fowler, for example, Blackburn away, it's okay. Spurs have got Leicester away. Then you look at some of the other sides. Ipswich, it's Newcastle away. Leeds, who I think we all want to go back to. Southampton away, which isn't a bad fixture, but it's still away from home. Winning 2-0 at home today. Middlesbrough away as well. Go to Everton. It's not a great set of fixtures at all. People talking about looking at Villa now. They've got Chelsea away. So Chelsea have 2 good home fixtures coming up. Aston Villa and Everton. And then Newcastle away you could probably include. Then it's blank. Then it's West Ham away in a potential double. And they have a decent run of fixtures for a very long period. Chelsea, if I'm looking in the right place. So they've got Arsenal at home in game week 24. But otherwise, there's a good run of fixtures, particularly in home games. But there's the trust issue with them. And also, they don't play in the blank game week. And they don't have a double in the double game week. And if you're looking to manoeuvre through it, I just think you pass them through. Unless you're looking for a 2-week gamble on Hasselbank. If you're going to get captain Hasselbank against Villa in game week 19, I don't mind that sort of move. But basically, the majority of us have a lot of players playing at home this game week. They're all away next week, basically. And that's part where I looked a little bit at like Newcastle. Derby as well. Derby got Sunderland at home, Bolton at home. Then although it's Manchester United away and they blank in 22, they could potentially double in game week 23, which is why I'd considered Lescott. I think Carbonari at 5 million is just a bit too much for a Derby defender. I'd want a 4.5 really. And they paid good money for Lescott. I noticed Luke had put him up as his new Avi. So I don't know if that meant that he was trying to say that he was going to buy Lescott as well. But yeah, Derby on my radar a little bit. I might look at them again next week. And, you know, I could go Lescott instead of, say, a a Rufus or a Stubbs, but they both have home games next week. So I think I'll probably play them, you know. Charlton are at home to Fulham, Everton at home to Borough. Everton are capable in home games of keeping clean sheets. But I think the main point is we've had this really good run with a number of teams where they've had consecutive home games, like Ipswich, for example. And that's turning now. You know, Newcastle have, Ipswich have 4 of the next 5 away. How much cojones have you got in that reliability of Hridason's bonus points? Because let's be honest, the majority of them coming at home, right? So is it now the smart time to consider looking away? Now, some of those away games for Ipswich, for example, are decent. Newcastle away, West Ham away, even Blackburn away in 23 doesn't hold too much fear. And the benefit of Manchester United away in game week 22 is if Hridason gets you 1 point, it's better than someone else getting no points, right? So I think it's just a very much to be aware in terms of fixtures that a good swing is now about to look difficult. And I think a lot of players are going to get very head focused into planning around 22 and 23. As you'll see on the fixture ticker at the moment, there are only 8 teams that play in game week 22. And currently, we have 6 teams scheduled to double in game week 23. But we won't know till game week 21 is gone if those teams will double or not. Now, it's worth saying that Arsenal would play in 22 and potentially double in game week 23. The same applies to Leeds, the same applies to Liverpool, and the same applies to Newcastle. And I think those are the 4 teams that people are going to begin to get drawn to. I think the Arsenal one, because they've got Manchester United at home now, then it's Middlesbrough at home, Everton away, and Liverpool away before 23. I think most people are in mind to take hits to get Arsenal win on 23 if they have that double, which would be very attractive of Southampton at home and Newcastle away. I mean, it's a banger, really. With Liverpool, it's not a great run. So following this fixture, they've got Blackburn away, Sunderland at home, Fulham away, Arsenal at home before a potential double, which isn't even great, of Manchester United at home and Tottenham away. Leeds, everyone wants to look at because their run essentially starts next week. Southampton away, Fulham at home, Tottenham away. Certainly for the attacking players, doesn't matter. It's actually still a good fixture. And West Ham at home in the blank. And then a potential double game week of Villa at home and Derby at home. So everyone's attacking Leeds massively. And Newcastle's double would be Leicester away, Arsenal at home. We've mentioned the fixture run's not too bad, so I think if you're carrying the cheapies, and I think if Shearer's fit, there'll be a lot of gravitation to him. I think if all those doubles in game week 23 happen, I think you'll see a lot of teams will force through a front 3 of Henry, Shearer and Viduka. That's basically part of my plan at the moment. And that's a really good thing, by the way, because that front 3 doesn't include Ruud van Nistelrooy, who, interestingly, with that in mind, Manchester United, who wouldn't double in game week 24, but obviously do play in 22 with the best fixture, really, because it's them at home to Ipswich, although you could look at Leeds against West Ham as an alternative. Yes, in 23 they have a difficult fixture against Liverpool, but then they walk straight back into Leeds at home, Blackburn away, Sunderland at home, Fulham away, Tottenham at home, Villa at home, Southampton away, Bolton away, Ipswich away, Newcastle at home. So is it a hokey cokey? I think that's what a lot of people are thinking about at the moment in terms of diving onto Henry for 23 if Arsenal's double happen and then straight back. Or is there a way of forcing through both of them together, because Arsenal's fixture run from 23 onwards is also very good. Yes, it's Chelsea away in 24, but then 3 of the next 4 include Newcastle at home, West Ham at home and Charlton at home, and the one away game is Leicester away, which certainly wouldn't put any fear into that either. So are people going to try and go very cheap defensively to try and force in Henry van Nistelrooy? Now is certainly the time to begin to think about what's happening with these blanks and doubles. And my recommendation genuinely is don't waste any time on Leeds. Get it done. Whatever you decide you want to do. I think the way I'm working towards is it's certainly McPhail and Viduka, as I said. And then depends where I land budget-wise, whether it's probably going to be Ian Hart, Gary Kelly or Harry Kewell to join that. And that I'm not rushed to get Ian Hart in for Southampton away, but the week after, then it starts becoming a bit scary. I know there's certainly an undercurrent of people who are strongly thinking about Ian Hart and using the treble captainship on him in game week 23 with those two very enticing home fixtures. Thinking Leeds are strong at home, got to be at least one clean sheet in there, 2 home games, every chance for an attack in return. And that's all it needs to be a very, very good return for Ian Hart. So I think you see quite a few of those who've not used the chip on Van Nistelrooy last week will certainly use on the likes of Ian Hart, Viduka, and possibly Henry in that game week as well. But main message is start preparing for it, guys. It's coming. That's it. Second half returning in a minute or so. Apart do that for the new players as well. You've got an advantage in terms of you could wildcard into whatever 3 Leeds players you want, and you absolutely should, by the way, when game week 20 comes round. And just to make you aware for the new players that fixtures are so important in this. Don't underestimate the importance of a fixture. Second half is underway, up and down the country. A big half of football coming up here, you feel. Perhaps especially at the Riverside. I need to open a new beer for that. Where Borough will be hoping they can take the opportunity to put pressure on Man United before the tea time game. Don't forget, team news coming up from Manchester United in half hour, and it's going to be disastrous. Hassan Carlos says free hit 23, definitely one to consider. Yes, if you haven't used it. Means you don't have to plan for those doubles, and obviously it's very difficult to plan for, because I said you're not going to know till after 21's gone which teams will definitely double in 23 or not. My recommendation in terms of the targeting those teams, though, if you are planning that way, is target those teams that have a good game week 23 fixture anyway, if it's just a single. So, for example, Arsenal would be at home to Southampton. You could even make a case for Derby at home to Middlesbrough. Leeds at home to Villa, obviously. The other 3, less so, although Spurs at Fulham isn't something you should be majorly put off with. Same by Newcastle at Leicester. It's Liverpool that would have the worst of it from the double perspective, in terms of they would just land on Manchester United at home. So I think you can still target all these teams anyway, even if the doubles don't happen, because the majority of those 6 teams have good fixtures. Well, let's cover. I see a few of you mentioning in the chat, so let's see what's being said. An official announcement from official FPL. Stay with me, I'll read it out. Update for FPL managers. Once a date for the return of the Premier League season is confirmed and remaining fixtures are announced, our plan is to resume FPL with additional multiple game weeks. We want to say thank you again to FPL managers for their continued patience in these exceptional times, and we'll provide further updates when it's appropriate. There's a further article on that which I'll look into in a sec. Woodwork's been hit at White Hart Lane. Spurs and Stefan Selakovic so close to a second. The Swede is picked out by Simon Davis, but he's finally struck effort, clips the bar and goes over. This is a really open encounter, as we've come to expect from Spurs games. We're the entertainers. We're not playing for trophies. We're the entertainers. They are confirming basically on the website, so I'll read this out to you. Once a date is confirmed and the remaining fixtures have been announced, our plan is to resume FPL with additional multiple game weeks created to reflect the remaining 92 fixtures. Aston Villa versus Sheffield United and Manchester City versus Arsenal, postponed due to the Carabao Cup final, are scheduled to take place on 17th of June, 2 days before a full match round commences on 19th of June. Or cut in now, James Scowcroft has scored for Leicester, assist for Dean Sturridge. Bolton 1, Leicester 1, Scowcroft the scorer, Dean Sturridge the assister. So just to clarify that, Villa, Sheffield United, City, Arsenal postponed due to the Carabao Cup final, scheduled to take place on 17th June, 2 days before a full match round commences on 19th June. These 2 fixtures and the full match round that follows would constitute the first full game week, confirming that FPL will restart of a double game week of 12 fixtures. We would like to remind managers that any chips you retain at present, triple captain, bench boost, free hit and a wild card, would remain available for you in accordance with the game rules for this game weeks. We thank FPL managers for their continued patience and will provide you further updates on the game when appropriate. No news on unlimited transfers, but that could well come. Don't get your knickers in a twist. At least they've said something. So we know now it will be a double game week when we return, which is very much what my thinking would be when we returned. Penalty to tell you about Anfield. Just before that, I don't know who's got the penalty. Obviously, it could be an Ian Hart penalty for Leeds. On the Scowcroft goal, this one counts. Is it fine? Sturridge in the box, and he unselfishly lays the ball off Scowcroft in a superb position, and he applies the simplest of finishes deserved. Michael Ricketts has been booked. The official count then say that off to Anfield now as a penalty has been awarded. No information yet on which way that's gone, but obviously if it's the Leeds, have to assume Ian Hart. I think if it's Liverpool, could be multiple penalty takers who might take that for the Reds, but we await information. It could be a further red card in that as well. Substitution to tell you about the Riverside. Alan Boxic day is over. Not too much of a surprise. Early change for Borough. Boxic, who looks tired, walks off to be replaced by Glenn Whelan. Can Borough make their dominance payable? Newcastle shot them by scoring their first shot. Yeah, 1 pointer, and it's very much what I expected it to be. Took half a chance that he might score. But I couldn't see any value in taking the hit that someone else could guarantee me 5 or more. So decided not to. I'm all right with that. I expected that to happen. We await further news from Anfield, and I have an exclusive Planet FPL news for you to come up as well. Following that lovely announcement from the official account. We still await news from Anfield. The penalties to Leeds. Stephen McPhail rounds Gerrard in the box and the little midfielder puts an arm in his back and knocks him to the floor. It's soft, but it's probably right. Ian Hart steps up. Can he banish those memories from the first day of the season? Ian Hart owners, if you went straight to Sylvester, to Ian Hart, you're absolutely about to hit gold. He will not miss. We wait. He won't miss. Get on with it. Get on with it. Scored by Ian Hart. Leeds level against 10-man Liverpool. Ian Hart, the goal scorer. Assist, Stephen McPhail. FPL tactician. Give me an ownership number on Ian Hart, please. And that bandwagon's going to go right into full force now ahead of Southampton away. Should I do a -8 and just get him back in as well? Ian Hart, the goal scorer. Stephen McPhail with the assist. Leeds on terms against 10-man Liverpool. Bradley Parker saying, oh shit, McPhail on my bench. Most people, it looks like wanting him to miss. Very different to our opening day when he got a penalty, when he was like 67% owned or so. FPL numbers happy that McPhail was his replacement for Dean Gordon off the bench. I told you he wouldn't miss. I ain't missing another one, mate. Stephen McPhail, you prick, you're a week early as well. Mind you, it would be Poyet to McPhail is the move I would have made, so levelled out there. Ian Hart does banish those memories. Leeds utterly dominant since the Burger Red and now level as Hart sends Dudek the wrong way to score. So, on FPL, we now know that Villa, Sheffield United, and Man City and Arsenal will have a double game week in game week. What's it going to be? Game week 30? I guess we don't know. But that's what we're restarting in game week 30. And we're not wasting any time. Clash of the Correspondents is back this Thursday with Adam Hotcroft and Tomo, FPL Blade, who's in the chat, We'll be back this Thursday to look at Aston Villa and Sheffield United assets ahead of game week 30. And I'm very hopeful that the following Thursday we'll be able to get FPL Pringle at 3-5 Who on together as well, so we can preview Manchester City and Arsenal, so you can get the insight on all four of those clubs before the double game week. So Adam and Tomo be with us to preview Villa against Sheffield United on Thursday on Planet FPL. Goal at Stadium of Light. Sunderland's clean sheet is gone. Two wide players have combined for Blackburn. Damien Duff is the goal scorer. Craig Hignett with the assist. Sunderland lead Blackburn by 2-1. They came back from 2-0 down last week, Sunderland. Are they about to lose a 2-0 lead this week? A big shout out to Adam, who's not playing the game, but Tomo obviously is, who have both been incredibly speedy in getting back to me on that today as well. We need to fix up a time with them, but I know we'll make it work. It's not like Tomo's on the other side of the world in America or something. But yeah, we'll make it work. Tomo, DM coming shortly after this stream, mate. Let's make it happen. Tomo didn't actually know that. But he does now. I know he's up for it. Anorig says, wouldn't it be game week 39? They said additional game weeks. Yeah, it might be. It might. Gives a fuck. 39, 30, same difference. Blackburn are so much better when they actually try to attack. They've come out of their shells since going 2 down. And are deservedly back in it. It's lovely played by Duff as he beats Mills and Tone before unleashing a shot past Neil Sullivan. Blackburn are so much better when they try and attack. So much better. Scarlett says, Arca clean sheet gone. Just go score another goal now. Graham S. McPostman's on strike. You're going to return every week, kids. And let's be honest, really fancy Newcastle to keep a clean sheet away to Middlesbrough. And Davies is my first sub. And we await Manchester United team news in 19 minutes. I'd still hope that Beckham and Van Nistelrooy are playing. If Phillips scores and he's my vice, I don't mind Van Nistelrooy missing out. Billy Hadaway says, Postman never delivers on the left. No attacking arrows, importantly to say, for those two Borough wide men, Johnson and Greening today. Gary Shepherd, max 10 players this week. United dependent and now Boxage off. Bring back last week. You believe I scored 108 points in game week 17 and went up from 137th to 133rd. The fuck is that? By the way, these next couple of game weeks coming up, average is going to dive a lot lower. A lot lower. Convinced of that. Near Shakhtar says Spurs are much better away from home. Can't say I agree with that, mate. Just had a couple of poor home games here. Storm Legacy. Tomo will be preaching triple blaze defence all week. Yeah, and I'll probably be getting it as well. Substitutions to tell you about at Portman Road. Couple of changes here. Gardso has gone off from a grill on 54. And Chelsea are now replacing Gianfranco Zola with Jody Morris. Chelsea haven't been bad, to be fair, but Ipswich are defending stoutly. Gallus and Jermaine Wright have also been booked. So that Ipswich clean sheet is far from secure as we approach the hour mark. Sean Murphy saying, Boxage my vice, praying Van Nistelrooy starts. Clayton Fernandez, Scowcroft, Selakovic and Hart so far for him. Decent. Yeah, I was listening to someone sent in a question to Luke and Andy on the Scout stream about selling Scowcroft. And I thought it was so right to say, yeah, don't sell him. Like, keep him. Don't worry about the form in this game. What is it? It's nice for me to throw out, like, the last 4 game weeks, Rickard's been the highest point scorer. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean it matters. It's gonna get, did it all make you bang on to, oh, Rickard's now got Newcastle at home. We're going to go and get him now. No. Don't suppose many people went Boxage to Rickard today, did they? Wouldn't have thought so. Gary Shepherd says, well, that's harsh, James. I got 118 and moved up over 100 places to 369. Gary, it's tough at the top, pal. But yeah, I did fit 108 points. I thought, it's got to put me in the top 108. And I'm looking through and I'm like, Where am I? Some bastard deleted me. But 4 places on 108 points. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. It's so competitive at that top level. If you look through the league table, I mean, half of the people were in excess of 100 points. Like, mad. Will Cantrell says Ipswich clean sheet would be great. Gotta love Herman. We all love Herman, but I'm afraid I think Chelsea will score here. Substitutions at the Reebok. A few changes to report before 60 here in this game, which is finally poised. Charlton and Southall have been removed for Bolton with Hanson and Nolan on. Leicester have removed Delaney and Heath with Matt Jones and Jordan Stewart replacing them. It's interesting. It might mean probably Savage going back into a full-back position. Jordan Stewart might be able to cover there at left-back. Could even be Andy Impey plays there. But certainly sounds like offensive moves by both sides there. So potentially more goals to come at the Reebok. Graham S says Redbrough scored 3 weeks worth of points against West Ham, it seems. Yeah. Don't be surprised. It's West Ham, kids. You know what's coming. Scarlett says he dropped 60 places from 87th to 129th. He didn't drop below me. Substitutions at the stadium are lie. Couple of changes to tell you about here. McCann and Bart Williams are replaced by Medina and Till. Sunderland look like they want to take the game to Blackburn once again. Go on, Super Kev. Get me that late goal. Storm Legacy says, is Redbrough having tea at White Hart Lane? No, coffee. 2 sugars, pal. Brian Newell says, I got 121 last week and I was still below Rory. Oh, poor Rory. Jose Vargas. Come on, Redbrough. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 clean sheets still intact as we stand, as we pass the 60-minute mark for Arsenal, Fulham, Ipswich, Middlesbrough, Newcastle still goalless, and Southampton. I wonder if there's a few Klaus Lundekvarm owners out there. Might have started him today. Oh, fuck's sake, Spurs. Jesus Christ. Charlton lead at White Hart Lane. Goal scorer is Sean Bartlett. And the assister is Jason Wilcox. Sean Bartlett has given Charlton the lead. Jason Wilcox with the assist. Tottenham 1, Charlton 2. The fuck, Spurs? Seriously. Win in a week, win today. You'd have been a point behind Man United before tonight. Fucking useless. Welcome to my world. It's a world of being let down, I'm telling you, kids. Heavy Finger 7 saying Delaney, the 59th minute man, strikes for a 3rd time. Yeah, but no one owns him anymore. Hassan Carlos says, oh, we sharing scores. 132 last week. Moved up about 500 places over the past 5 weeks. Nice. Paul Coleman says he's got 124 points and still lost in the Panda Cup. Jose Vargas needs that Newcastle goal. Pep, what's Spurs doing? It's a superb goal from Charlton, to be fair. Wilcox, who continues to tick over for points, plays a lovely 25-yard pass for Bartlett running through. He brings the ball into the box before planting a strike past Keller. Spurs have replaced Ledley King with Ben Thatcher. Will Cantrell saying, don't worry, Teddy will bag a goal or 3, I hope. Brian Newell starting to think playing Casey every week might be a mistake, but I'm determined to stick with it. Brian, you stick with it, mate. Bradley, man, you can get ended as Wolves correspondent. You know that. Spurs doing a Spurs. Bradley, I'll have an update for you and all the correspondents in the next 24 hours or so in terms of plans. Let's make this happen. Let's get Planet FPL back on the old FPL road. Storm Legacy, I went for Johnson over Middlesbrough defence. Shouldn't have changed last night. Someone who didn't already own Johnston. Substitutions at St Mary's. Southampton used their allocation of subs now. Delay and Howard are off. I assume that should be Delap and Howard are off for Tessam and McDonald on 62 minutes. This follows Benali being replaced by Monk on 56. So Francis Benali owners, no clean sheet. Gutted. All 0 of you. Saints are still on top, but the chances keep coming. Lionel Richie got 126 points last week, moved up 5 spots. Yeah, that's what happens when you get that kind of score and you're knocking about the top 10, mate. Pep Talk says, is Wilcox the new postman? Wilcox hasn't stopped delivering, guys. Jason Christopher Dorney still has Wilcox, offering great value. Joe Finley Badder, see you digging, boy. See you digging. Scala says Redruth probably at right wing back now after the King sub. No, not at all. Thatcher will have just gone in to the back three. Deadlock has been broken at the Riverside. Oh, excuse me. Just past Dean Windass there. He's the goal scorer for Borough. And the sister is Noel Whelan. How flat do you feel? Goal scorer, Windass, assist, Noel Whelan. Borough lead Newcastle 1-0. 63 minutes gone at the Riverside. Thanks, Bradley. You planned them pieces, mate. We look forward to them. Yes, as Joe Finley Badder points out. The old Dabby's ass clean sheet is gone. I assume, it looks like a dab. You might have been criticising my previous comment. But yes, Middlesbrough lead Newcastle. Windass goal, Whelan assist. Gary Shepherd went Casey Keller over Jones between the sticks this week. Can't believe Southampton might keep a clean sheet. Did you ever expect Spurs to keep a clean sheet, mate? Richly deserved goal for Borough. Superb from sub Whelan, who nutmegs O'Brien and then beats Barton before crossing into the 6-yard box for Windass to head home. Ian Pearce replaces Robbie Stockdale and Olivia Bernard is on for Sapunsis. So if you're out there and you own Robbie Stockdale, your clean sheet is banked. Rangers FPL, Redruth, get your finger out! There's obviously loads of you in this chat have been brave and gone Redruth captain this week. It is not paying off yet. I say loads. About 4% overall, obviously. But, yeah. Pep Talk saying the Borough goal is pointless. It's not pointless. It might have just killed my Nikos Dabizet's clean sheet. Joe Finney Badder's just realised he's got his Sturridge assist off his bench. Clean sheet wipeout says, expect that Dabizet's clean sheet to be taken, so never mind. Yeah, I didn't get him in for this game week. Fuck me. And if he ends up in my team and it's a 2-pointer, I'll take that as a bonus, actually. FPL Badger says, I have Dean Windass's phone number if anyone wants it. We always FaceTiming on England away games and he picks up to anyone. Well, funny bloke. That's class. But Mark, why didn't you give him a buzz for Planet FPL 24 last week? He's a funny character, actually, Dean Windass. Anurag says lineups out in 9 minutes. That's the biggest shitter of all, isn't it? This Manchester United team. FPL Cobbler, don't mention the clean sheets. I'm going to do it again. Arsenal, Fulham, Ipswich, Middlesbrough, Southampton. Holding on. 5 clean sheets remaining. Aston Villa, the only home side not to have scored. But obviously, they are down to 10 men. And there's a substitution at Villa Park. First change for Arsenal. Ashley Cole's clean sheet is banked. He trots off with his clean sheet intact. Not his best day, but his owners won't be complaining. It continues to be total domination from Arsenal here. It would be shocking if they didn't go on to win. Should I shout for Harry? Gary Shepherd, usually loved the Borough announcements, but no flash Boxich off and everyone owns the postman. So true. Yeah, what was I going to get out of that? Crossley assist. Dick Wellington, quick math. What you mathing on, pal? Joe Finley Badder. Seaman and Tarico clean sheets. They'll keep them, I reckon. I'm going to tell you now, guys. Chelsea will score. Chelsea will score at Ipswich. I don't think Villa will score. I think goal at the Reebok. Gary Rowett is the scorer for Leicester City. And Robbie Savage has an assist. Leicester have come from behind and lead at Bolton. Gary Rowett the scorer. Robbie Savage with the assist. I think Southampton clean sheet will hold. Arsenal clean sheet will hold. And Middlesbrough clean sheet will hold. I think Derby and Chelsea will score. That's where I'm at in my thinking. Three seems to be on the money for average clean sheets, I'd say. Pete Squires says a Gary Smith, Dean Windass convo would be worth paying for. By the way, guys, while we got a minute, can we have a hand from our man FPL captain? Continued solid work here on the graphics and whatnots. We like the video printer. Banging, isn't it? Give my man a follow, man, up there. He's a superstar. And if you haven't given the video a like, give it a like because it makes Suj happy. Karan Yadev says, happy Sunday, everyone. I think you might have been just hacked, Karan, by Gary Smith. Do check your emails and your bank account. Hassan Carlos says, there's no way that Chelsea is scoring. All right, let's see. Storm Legacy, is it worth having Ruud Van Nistelrooy considering the numbers? No, please go without. Everybody sell Van Nistelrooy. Sell him, sell him, sell him, because I fucking won't be. Clayton Fernandez just took Rowett out, for fuck's sake. Yeah, Buddy Hadaway saying Karan, the new Gary. Excuse me. FBL Ferrell, let's all jump on Leicester way. Clean sheet, well, no doubt Ipswich use their clean sheet and Seaman keeps his while sitting on the bench. Woodwork has been hit at Craven Cottage. Derby are getting closer. This time it's Malcolm Christie. He lines up a shot from all of 25 yards out. It's an excellent effort, but it bounces back off the bar. This game is really even now. Derby don't deserve to be 2 down. Goldbeck on for Clark. Love seeing all the hands in the chat from Bradley Parker, Graham, Aritavo, Sean Murphy, Jonathan Nagy, FPL Numbers, Badger, Scala, Ryan, FPL Captain. Feel the love, pal. And Ryan, well done, my man. Guy's a fucking superstar. Brian Yule says, Captain rules. Hassan, lovely work, Captain. We take these graphics for granted now. Because they're the bollocks. We take him for granted that he's going to turn up. I messaged him just before we started. No issues today in the old logging in. Just went, good luck today, mate. Enjoy it. Thanks in advance. Karan Yadav, you are the new hero of this chat. Wow, was up for almost 24 hours. Forgot it's Saturday morning. Haha. Substitutions. If you want to get on Karan, you can follow him on Twitter at Wayne Ruined. My God, you've just ruined yourself, pal. Substitutions at Anfield, a flurry of changes. Liverpool have been solid enough, but offering nothing going forward. Replace Carragher and Smeets with Redknapp and Partridge. Leeds bring on Mabry and Bridges for Bakker and Keane as they push on for a deserved winner. You sim everything you like, but what's going to happen when there's a red card? Leeds look like they're going to go on and win this. Bricky with love. Gary Shepherd, clean sheet wipeout. Ryan says, Derby, stop that shit. Rangers FPL booster. Thank you very much for the love for our friend FPL Captain. He will well appreciate that. And if you haven't given him a follow, what are you doing? And if you want to meet Chris and you weren't about for Planet FPL 24 after game week 16, do get back onto hour 5 of part 2 of our 24-hour stream from last week. Manchester United West Ham team sheets have just dropped onto the desk, but they are embargoed for another 3 minutes. I think, though, I am allowed to say that this is what they call an absolute bloodbath. Hope you've lined up your vice captain correctly. That is the word from the official account. I'm not surprised that this is going to be a bloodbath when the United team drops. I think there are going to be mass changes to this Manchester United lineup. While you all fret on that, can I just say, in my Twitter bio, there is still a link to the NHS Charities Together fundraiser that obviously we did last Saturday. You can still donate. I realise that it was a week before payday for a lot of people last week. It wasn't great timing. If you didn't donate and now feel you're in a better position to donate, please feel free to do so. There's no pressure to do so. We'll be grateful. We are heading towards £6,000 raised, and Chelsea have scored. Ipswich clean sheet is gone. The goal scorer for Chelsea, rather laughably, is Leon Knight. Ipswich clean sheet is gone. 17 minutes to go up Portman Road. And that is bang, 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 bang news. Wait till you see this United team. I am ready for it. Leon Knight, the scorer for Chelsea. No assister there, by the way, just to clarify. Not that anybody gives a shit. They're all just giving a shit that Ipswich clean sheet has gone. Listen, Herman could still get a 5-pointer here, guys. Just saying. John UK said, who the fuck jinxed that? Oh, just telling you the truth that I knew Chelsea would score. A special moment for young Leon Knight. Zenden, who is on for Stanic and making a difference. Dribbles past Holland and gets a shot away. Sereni saves it excellently. But Knight reacts fastest to slam it home. And then Armstrong is on for Jim Magilton for Ipswich. The firework from Badger, I presume, is a Norwich fan. Well, I know he's a Norwich fan. I'm going to assume that he hasn't got any Ipswich defensive and he's been suffering every week. Samuel DB says, whoever said Chelsea won't score, hope you're happy. I suspect with a triple defensive clean sheet, they're not happy, to be honest, Sam. Ryan says, Jesus Christ. Wait for your Jesus Christ. It's 4:29 and we await the team news of Manchester United. Don't spoil it by going on Twitter and having a look for yourself. Let me break the news for you, which I now have. The Manchester United lineup is as follows. Fabian Barthez. Back four of Phil Neville, Ronnie Woolwork, Wes Brown, Dennis Irwin. Midfield four of Luke Chadwick, Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes, Quinton Fortune. Up front, Andy Cole and Dwight York. The Manchester United substitutes are Ricardo Lille, David May, Bojan Djordjic, Danny Webber and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's why I didn't buy Laurent Blanc. Go and have a look at who the fuck you've got on your bench. My captain is now Super Kevin Phillips and I have Nikos Dabizas and Richard Rufus coming into my team in place of Beckham and Van Nistelrooy. It is carnage. No Van Nistelrooy, no Veron, no Giggs, no Beckham, no Blanc, no Johnson, no Gary Neville. It's absolute carnage. Do you want me to read out the West Ham team? No one even cares, do they? Before we do that, substitution at the Riverside. Borough won't be comfortable without a second. And if they don't get it, it won't be for lack of trying. They are all over Newcastle here, who look frankly terrible and in real danger. Final change for Borough now. Summerbelt replaces Ince. Incredible. The West Ham team, for what it's worth, is Hislop, Song, Repka, Hayden Fox at centre-half, Scott Minto, Sinclair, Carrick, Cole, Courtois is back, Canute and Di Canio up front. West Ham subs are James, Genus, Hutchison, Camera, Defoe. From the official account, just another fault on that Man United lineup today. They face Arsenal next on Boxing Day. I wonder if coming off 2 games last week, Ferguson felt he needed to freshen his troops for that crunch tie. That Arsenal game takes place in just 4 days' time. I didn't think it would be that bad, but I did think it would be bad in terms of the rotation. It just made sense with that Arsenal game coming next, in my opinion. So I've got Dabizas and Rufas off the bench. Dive into the chat. Let us know, guys, who's coming off your bench. And let us know if you're stuck. Are you less than 11 players? Dive in. I have something to inform you of from FPL Captain. There are 300 plus teams that have Van Nistelrooy as captain and Veron or Beckham as vice captain. That's exactly why I said I went Phillips as vice captain rather than Beckham. Just was not worth the chance. Admittedly, Phillips doing nothing, Redbroth doing nothing. All the guys that might be people's vice captains are generally doing nothing. Woodwork has been hit at White Hart Lane. Spurs so close to a deserved equaliser. Poyet lifts the ball into the box for the German. What German? And he's unfortunate to see his shot bounce back off the bar and Selakovic can't bundle home the rebound. Charlton have replaced Jason Yule with Johansson. I will presume the German was Christian Ziege. Andrew Martin, who often likes to get in this chat and give people the old wind-up, he made it very clear on the stream 2 weeks ago, I believe, and last Sunday, that he expected mass rotation for Manchester United against West Ham. I took note, Andrew. Thank you. That's part why I ended up with Dabizas today. I needed it to be a player. And those 2 points, if that's how it stands, is definitely better than the 0 from Blanc. And then I can use Dabizas for good fixtures should I deem necessary. Lots going on in the chat. I'm not going to be able to catch up with all of them, but I'll mention some of them. James Trustwell, 9 men, no captain. DJ Music has Lundikvarm. You've got Lundikvarm coming in. That's a good thing, mate. Final Richie has Bramble, Target and Biscan in for 11 players. Selakovic is the vice captain. You've had a major result there, mate. Nishakta thinks he has 9 players. Biscan, Hariderson and Taggart off the bench. What's Hariderson doing on the bench again? Woodwork's been hit at St Mary's. Gary Naismith so close to setting up a grandstand finish. He meets Abel Xavier's cross brilliantly. His low shot skids off the surface but bounces back off the post. Unlucky. Everton have replaced Unsworth with Peter Clark. By the way, United owners with Barthez. Fuck me, looks like decent news. Luke Porteous, no captain or vice. No subs coming on. Boom. Ouch. Richard Skeen, 8 players, no captain. Ha ha. And that bloody Chelsea goal. Andy Cairns, Redbrough vice captain, actually looking okay, even with a blank. Goals now for a Redbrough or Phillips could be absolutely huge. Aritrava has McPhail coming on. That's a result. Ryan is just screaming for Redbrough to do something. He's not the first, won't be the last. Chris Duckworth has Wilcox Tariko off the bench. Redbrough will now be his captain. I don't see what Gary Smith says, but the replies are, Nice Godfrey says, then you're fucked. And Colm, you're fucked, Gary Smith. Same as many of us. What did Gary Smith say? So what happens if triple captain Veron and Ruud van Nistelrooy is right? You did not do that, Gary Smith. Tell me you didn't do that. I think you've only done that on your website team, haven't you? Please tell me you've only done that on your website team. Bloody hell. Carnage. Absolute carnage. Speedy Reedy says, lost my captain starting only 10. Shit. Almost went Beckham, Madison to Scowcroft, Selakovic. Fuck. Will Cantrell. Today is my vice. Teddy is my vice captain. Switched it from Beckham last minute. Well done. Jamie Humphries transferred Chadwick in. What a touch. Rangers FPL. No bench. FPL booster. Dan was hoping for a Van Nistelrooy cameo. Goal at Villa Park. Arsenal's clean sheet is still intact. Dennis Bergkamp. They said it wasn't a good day for Bergs, but this one's got a goal. Dennis Bergkamp's the scorer. And Thierry Henry has the assist. His second return of the day. Villa 0, Arsenal 2. Should wrap up the points for Arsenal at Villa Park. Harry, stay where you are. We'll save this for another day, young man. Jamie Humphries has Selakovic vice captain. Chadwick in. Sean Murphy says, should have done that Sahar from Boxic move. Love this game. Near used best bench boost on website. Yeah, everybody's bench boost on the website is nearly dead. Mind you, I'll get 11 players now. my strong bench will actually play on the website game. Pete Squires, Fergie taking the piss. Surprised he's not giving his son Darren a run out too. Information on the Bergkamp goal. Arsenal put any lingering doubts to bed. Lovely team move involving Albertini, Lauren and Henry. Ends with a Frenchman cutting the ball back from the right for Bergkamp to apply the finish. Arsenal have been outstanding today. Heavyfinger7 says, odds on game week average, 40 will be gold. Clean sheets here could be very handy. There are 4 in the 3 o'clockers still hanging about. Arsenal, Fulham, Middlesbrough and Southampton And Fabian Barthez owners could be huge later for Manchester United if United can keep a shutout. It would be a nice bonus even just to get the 6-pointer there, genuinely. I am currently on Crossley clean sheet as it stands. I'm on Gerrard goal, Poyet assist. That's me. And I suspect I might not be far off average. Stinkbomb12 says Omri Van Nistelrooy combo working out. Paul Rona's getting Petruska off the bench on the website team now. Hassan says, generally think I'll have 100 points less than my game week 17 score. It won't be quite that situation for me. I'll tell you what, if I'm beating average, I'll end up very, very happy. I obviously have nothing now in the United West Ham game, and I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people. Gary Shepherd, 40 average. Yeah, I wish. Bonus points could be crucial here again. Like for Horidison, can Steven Gerrard be in the bonus for me? Pep talk. Come on, Redruff. They're praying. You did nothing for me in real life. Please do something now in his computer sim. Don't know about nothing in real life. I remember that 5th goal against Chelsea in January 02. FPL Booster, feels unfair that people will get Henry vice points. It's not unfair. It's the game. Penalty appeal at Anfield. Hugely controversial moment here as Leeds and Ian Hart are denied a second penalty. Substitute Michael Bridges is clearly knocked to the floor in the box but by Jamie Redknapp, but Jeff Winter waves away the appeals. The Anfield effect. Question. No one's hitting captain right now, bar, oh gosh, under 1% of Henry captainers, basically. Dead Henry captainers. That's about it, I think. FPL Feral, please don't go and put your head in the kids' paddling pool and scream. It's just a game, kids. Enjoy it. Love it. Karan Yadav said, what's the website team? It's a long story. Go to fancychampman.com. That's where everybody's team will exist from game week 20. On game week 20, very briefly, which is obviously scheduled for 3 p.m. next Saturday, there is every chance that that might be moved to allow extra time for new players to join the game. So we really want to ramp up getting new players involved in the game. There's every chance that it might be 3 o'clock next Saturday. I think it's highly likely at the moment that it won't be, but I have no news on that at the moment. It's up to the guys. Next Saturday or Sunday or whenever I'll stream, whenever the fuck I'm told before football returns, then I'm having a say in what happens. Vice captain Wednesday will remain as normal, 8 o'clock. That's a certainty. Late Riser says, come on Spurs. Ryan wants VAR at Anfield. You're ahead of time, mate. Nice Godfrey, vice captain on Beckham. I thought at least the captain will be playing. Blocks on about 55 points. You're killing it, mate. Chance, sort of, says the official account at the Riverside. Congratulations to Newcastle United, who managed their first shot of the game. Mark Costiano's, like me, you are not getting save point bonus. And it's only taken them 87 minutes. Christian Besaidis with the effort from range, but it's straight into Crosty's significantly sized midriff. Lots of Redruff, pleasers. Please, Redruff. Please, Redruff. 2.5 minutes to go. Are we going to have a big late goal? Could it happen? Could it happen? A Fowler or a Phillips or a Redruff? Could there be a big late goal? Just over 2 minutes to go. Those still on Scowcroft. That's a handy return. Lewis Barmore, Lewis Sahar owners. Obviously Henry owners. Anything Arsenal defensive. It's going to be a winner here. Looks like Middlesbrough as well. Southampton owners. Is Klaus Lundekvam off your bench now, for example? But yeah. What fucking news, bitches. Pete Squires, get Eileen Drury at White Hart Lane now. Hoddle needs her and we do too. There is going to be a late goal here, kids. Definitely. There will be one. There has to be one. FPL numbers saying it's going to be Teddy. Pep Talk says, what United v West Ham game? It's dead in my world. Yeah, it's dead to me as well, mate. Suddenly gone into it, open at West Ham, nick a goal and wipe out that Bartes clean sheet from an ownership perspective as a non-Bartes owner. Luke Chadwick owners, very best of luck. Anurag, come on Herman or Johnston, now my captain. Fulham have a penalty at Craven Cottage. Ligwinski crosses to Barmorte and Elliott wrestles him to the ground. Roger Fernandez points to the spot. Barmorte takes responsibility for the kick. Kampoom, who's been poor today, make amends. Barmorte owners, you are potentially in to win this game week here and now. We know that there will be some of you in there that own him. Get your hands up if you do, kids. Andy Martin saying he fancies a late goal, which probably means there won't be one. Oh no, is Barmorte going to miss? Nice Godfrey says, fuck Redbroth, he's going to do nothing. Stinkbomb 12 wants Chelsea to tie it up. That'd cost a few points as well. Graham S says Redbroth going to come good with a one bap. Bradley's got Barmorte. Scored. It's in. Barmorte has converted for Fulham. They lead Derby County by 3-0. That is timed at 90th minute. Games are not finished. We are still ongoing. So, obviously, captain stopped the clock at 90 minutes, but we are still ongoing. Barmorte has absolutely wrapped that up for Fulham. His second return of the day. They lead Derby 3-0. They still hold a clean sheet, as do Arsenal and Middlesbrough and Southampton. John UK has captain Barmorte by the looks of it. Don't know if that was his planned vice, and now has it. Dick Wellington claims that none owner's doing well. Obviously, no assist on that Barmorte goal as he won the penalty himself. Pep Talk says, bad day to be missing Dean Gordon. We await full times or any late news. Bradley Parker says Barmorte is now his 10th favourite Portuguese player. If you don't know, Bradley is our Wolves correspondent. He practically lives in Portugal. Can Poom make amends? No. Barmorte gives in the eyes and Poom goes the wrong way. Derby have not been outplayed here, but they're going down 3-0. The Fulham players mob Barmorte. They are delighted. Graham S with a positivity. Oosh, well done, Boa owners. Gary Shepherd, I'm on course for almost 100 points less than last week. You may not be alone, Gary. Late Riser says, well done, Boa, Vice Cappers. And Cappers. Massive. John D, King Louis. Liam H, Barmorte owner, but also got Melberg in my team. Forget Melberg, mate. Doesn't matter so much. Graham S, late Spurs goal, please. I mean, I feel the same, but I don't think it's coming, guys. The Redbroth begging pleases are dying, mate. Every time you beg that, I feel like it's coming less and less. No. FPL captain, turn them red. We're done. That's it. Festive footy season is officially underway. 22nd of December, we'll move on to Wednesday, which will be Boxing Day and game week 19. Clean sheets confirmed for Arsenal, Fulham, Middlesbrough and Southampton. Arsenal beating Villa 2-0. Leicester 2-1 winners at Bolton. Fulham beating Derby 3-0 comfortably. Ipswich beating Chelsea 2-1. Liverpool and Leeds 1-1. Patrick Berg was obviously sent off for Liverpool there, but they've held on for a point. Middlesbrough beat Newcastle 1-0. Southampton beat Everton 2-0. Sunderland have held on to beat Blackburn 2-1. Super Kev not in the attacking returns for Sunderland. And Spurs lose at home for the second successive fixture. Having lost to Derby in 17, now lose to Charlton in game week 18. And now you fuckers all know how I've felt for the last 30 years. Wow. Any playing vice captain could be a winner here, depending on bonus points as well, right? Redbroth 2-point bonus. Suddenly you're on 8 points against someone who's got Van Nistelrooy captain. And I mean, 300 teams don't have a captain, right? 300 teams don't have a captain. So, you know, a 2-point bonus here for a Redbroth, for a Phillips, could be big, guys. Like, genuinely, we'd obviously wait for these bonus points I think Boa Morte owners, those who've got Boa Morte Vice, I mean, Omri owners obviously will have done very well this week. I suspect that's where the captaincies are, though. You think like people have like Heskey? It was a bit of gamble on Heskey, I felt. Went off early in the first half. Can't think there have been too many different. Alan Johnston maybe's not done anything. It's 3 points, double to 6 points. Any bonus, it could be a double pointer. You just don't know, right? Although it didn't sound like Johnson was particularly involved in the commentary. Here come those bonus points. We will start at Villa Park. Top bonus goes to Thierry Henry. There are 2 bonus points for Peter Schmeichel, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Demetrio Albertini, Dennis Bergkamp and Robert Pires. There are 4 save point bonus for Peter Schmeichel. So 4 save points, 2 bonus, 2 conceded. I'll make that a 7-pointer for Peter Schmeichel. Well done, Schmeichel owners. No bookings in the match. Obviously, Olaf Melberg was sent off on 39 minutes. Villa withdrew Ian Taylor and Alpay, both through injury in the first half for Hitzelsberger and George Boateng. Arsenal's sole change was Matt Upson for Ashley Cole on 67. So Ashley Cole did bank the clean sheet. Henry's man of match performance was a 10 out of 10. 2 higher than any of his teammates. All the others in the bonus were 8 out of 10 ratings. Villa's Alan Wright and Ian Taylor, 5 out of 10 ratings. That's about your lot really to report. Top bonus at the Reebok goes to the popular Henrik Pedersen. There were 2 bonus points for Gudni Bergson, Michael Ricketts, Gary Rowett. Who the fuck is M. Jones? Matthew Jones, it was a 58-minute substitute for Leicester. And Leicester scorer James Scowcroft. 1 booking in the match went to Bolton's Michael Ricketts. Bolton had replaced Simon Charlton on 52 with Kevin Nolan. Bo Hansen replaced Southall on 58. Anthony Barnes was replaced by Diawara on 64. Pedersen's man of match rating an 8 out of 10. All the others in the bonus obviously on the same. Matthew Jones, one of those in the bonus, replaced Matt Heath on 58. And Jordan Stewart replaced Damien Delaney on 52. Those attacking changes for Leicester paid off. Top bonus at Craven Cottage goes to Louis Boamorte. 2 bonus points to Louis Sahar. 1 bonus point 2 for Martin Corrigan, Kieran McAnesby, Alan Gomar, Wadu, Steve Finnan, Stolzers. 1 save point bonus for Edwin van der Sar. Bowen's man of match rating was a 9 out of 10. Fulham's sole change was Goldbeck for Lee Clark on 64 minutes. Good ratings for Fulham players across the board. Mark Poon with a 4 out of 10 for Derby. Steve Elliott with a 5 out of 10. Jolyon Lescott 6 out of 10 on debut. Derby's sole change was Lee Morris for Fabrizio Ravanelli on 84 minutes. The only booking in the game was for Derby County's Craig Burley. We await bonus points at Ipswich. Top bonus goes to an Ipswich player. It is Matt Holland who has got the top bonus. 3 bonus points for Matt Holland. And there are 2 bonus points for 2 Chelsea players, John Terry and Leon Knight. 1 save point bonus for Matteo Sereni. You don't think that's it, do you? 2 bonus points for Maurizio Tirico, Titus Bramble, Fanidi George and Herman Hariderson. So bonus points for the 3 big owned Ipswich defenders and also Fanidi, John Terry, Leon Knight. 1 save point bonus for Sereni. Jermaine Wright and William Gallus were the 2 players booked. Ipswich had replaced Thomas Gardso with John McGrew on 54 and Jim Magilton with Alan Armstrong on 62. Chelsea had used Jody Morris for Zola on 58 and Zenden for Stanic on 64. Stanic with a poor rating, 5 out of 10, and very unusually as well, Mario Melchior with a 5 out of 10 rating. Matt Holland's man of match was a 9 out of 10. Top bonus pleases me massively. I was kind of hoping for Steven Gerrard, but I'll take the alternative at Anfield. Top bonus goes to Sammy Hippier. 2 bonus points for Stefan Henshaw. 2 bonus points for Ian Hart. That's it on Liverpool Leeds. 1 save point bonus for Jersey Dudek. Liverpool had Patrick Berger on 26 minutes. Emil Heskey was sacrificed straight afterwards for Liverpool's Stephen Wright. Liverpool also used Richie Partridge and Jamie Redknapp for Smeetser and Carragher on 63 minutes. I don't know if that's a Carragher banked clean sheet, although I don't suppose he'd have much ownership. Robbie Fowler and Redknapp were the two players booked in the match. Leeds' changes were after the hour. Maybury and Bridges for Baka and Robbie Keane. Baka with a 5 out of 10 rating. So too Lucas Radaby. Ian Hart, the only Leeds player to rate more than 7 out of 10. Hippier's man of match rating was a 9 out of 10. To the Riverside. Top bonus goes to Noel Whelan. 2 bonus points for Dean Windass. 1 bonus point for Gianluca Festa, Gareth Southgate, Hamilton Rickard and Newcastle's Marcelino. There were 2 save points for Shay Given. You would have obviously known already. None for Mark Crossley. Well, Noel Whelan's man of match performance was as a 50-minute substitute, replacing Alan Boxic with a 9 out of 10. Windass, who started the game, also 9 out of 10. Middlesbrough also replaced Ince and Stockdale after the hour mark with Ian Pearce and Somerville. So Stockdale owners' clean sheet would be banked. Newcastle's sole change was Bernard for Sapunsis on 62. Sapunsis, Robbie Elliott and Nikos Dabizas, all with 5 out of 10 ratings. Marcelino with an 8 out of 10. Interesting. Top bonus at St Mary's goes to opening scorer and penalty converter Dan Petrescu. There are 2 bonus points for Klaus Lundikvarm and 1 for Paul Jones, Wayne Bridge, Mark Draper and Marion Pahars, who I noticed he don't return, but Marion Pahars pre this game week was in the top 10 scoring forwards in the game. There must have been chances at St Mary's because there are 2 save points for both goalkeepers, Paul Jones and Steve Simonson. So Jones owners, you're onto a double point hit there by the sounds of that. No, a little bit short. 9-pointer, but still a very good return. Petrescu's man of the match was a 9 out of 10. Southampton had replaced Francis Bernardi with Monk on 56 and also used Tessam and McDonald to replace Delap and Brian Howard just after the hour. Everton had bookings for Gravison and Unsworth. Unsworth was replaced late on by Peter Clark, and Joe Max Moore basically got a full appearance, replacing the injured Paul Gascoigne on 18 minutes. To the Stadium of Light. Top bonus goes to Emerson Tome. There are 2 bonus points for Julio Arca, George McCartney, Gerald Sibon, Henning Berg, Mark Hughes. None for Kevin Phillips. 1 save point bonus for Neil Sullivan. Phillips was actually replaced in injury time by Lillian Laslandis. Medina and Gary Till came on for McCann and Bart Willips on 60 minutes. My understanding as well is that 60 minutes is before the hour. It's 59. How many other seconds? So 1 point returns for McCann and Bart Williams for their 0 owners. Emerson Tome's man of match rating was a 9 out of 10. There were no bookings in the match. Blackburn's sole change was David Dunn for Jason McAteer in injury time. Blackburn keeper Alan Kelly with a 5 out of 10 rating. Could it reopen the door for Brad Friedel? Bonus is in from White Hart Lane. Top bonus will please many. It's gone to Stefan Selakovic. There are 2 bonus points for Dean Kiley, who also has 2 save points as well. There's 2 bonus points for Chris Powell, Gary McAllister, Jason Wilcox, Graham Stewart, Sean Bartlett. Casey Keller has 1 save point and 2 bonus points. And there are also 2 bonus points for Christian Ziega, Gus Poyet, and that's it. Nothing for Rebroff. Gary McAllister was the only booking in the match. Selakovic man of match rating was an 8 out of 10. Ben Thatcher had replaced Ledley King on 61. Simon Davis was withdrawn for Richard Johnson in injury time. Charlton had replaced Jason Newell with Johansson on 73 minutes. Jonathan Fortune made an injury time appearance to replace Richard Rufus. Great win there for Charlton, and that is it. No Premier League table yet, say the official account. We'll bring that to you after the now meaningless Manchester United and West Ham United fixture. How's your team shaping up? We're all fucked. We're imagining we'll be seeing a lot of auto subs and vice captains today. Therefore, I think it would be very premature for the guys to suggest any kind of average, but we can certainly have a guess. Planet FPL content in the coming days and weeks as we return towards Premier League football is going to get more FPL focused. We're in talks now deciding how we're going to do. There's obviously announced Clash of the Correspondents will definitely return this Thursday as we preview Aston Villa and Sheffield United assets ahead of what we now know is a double game week. Our charity link is still in my bio on Twitter at Planet FPL Pod. If you wish to donate to NHS charities together, we are actually approaching £6,000 raised. That's money raised by all of you that supported us last weekend. Thank you so much. If you couldn't contribute and now wish to do so, please feel free to do so. And also the Champ Man guys, their Trussell Trust donation page is also still open. If you want to donate to them, obviously give Andy, Dave or James a shout and I'm sure they'll be happy to help you. Other than that, wish you a great weekend. Weather's nice, but stay safe. Be sensible. Be nice to each other. Hope your arrows are green. Who knows? Have a great rest of the weekend, guys. In terms of Champ Man, I'll obviously be back Wednesday. Planet FPL will be back on Monday. Be nice to each other, guys. Take care. Ciao for now.